Today's A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan podcast is brought in.
You're doing the dead old man.
Yeah. I feel like a dead old man today.
Happy birthday, man.
I don't want to have
Daniel's
a birthday.
birthday.
You know, all I want for my birthday is liquid glass guard and leave me alone. And leave me alone in my garage with beer and just cleaning supplies for my automobile.
Yeah.
All I need.
And that's a good point. It's a great Father's Day gift.
It really is.
If you go to liquidglassguard.com, use promo code Tom and Dan, you'll get 20% off.
Dude, that stuff's bananas.
Yeah.
I told you I put it on my scooter.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really going to rail on this, but I'll go ahead and do it because they pissed me off. But the guys that do our maintenance out here, I park my scooter out front. They'll chew up the grass on the sides and then they'll blow the mud all over my scooter.
Yeah.
But because it's coated now, all that stuff, I can go back to my house and use my compressor to blow the dirt off.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's no friction. It's like literally, I don't even know what you call that. It's just super slippy.
Yeah, and basically it's there's different ones on the website.
Sure.
You can get the starter pack.
Get the 2-pack because you're going to want, if you do your windshield, you're going to want to do your wife or your girlfriend or your daughter
husband,
or son's windshield. Just don't cheap out. Get the 2-pack. But this stuff it's amazing.
It's like a 2-pack of wipes. The first wipe is like the alcohol wipe. You got to clean your windshield.
And you got gloves so you can protect your hands.
And then the second one is a liquid glass guard wipe. And then you coat that. You have to do it in a couple minutes because the little wipe will dry out. But once it's coated, you let it sit there. And then it lasts for 6 months. Like I did it to my truck windshield. It was pouring the other day. Didn't even turn on my wipers. Like the water, it's hydrophobic. So the water just streaks down.
Well, that's the thing is that like I put it on my scoot and then they had blown all that mud. So my scooter was dirty, but then it rained. But because the rain doesn't stick and it doesn't get water spots, it just washed all the mud right off the sides of my scooter. So it's an amazing product, guys. You should try it.
Local Orlando company. Keeps your windshield crystal clean, invisible windshield protectant. Just a lot of advantages. And like I said, if you go to liquidglassguard.com, when it says a promo code, type in Tom and Dan. That's how they know it's coming from us. Plus, you'll get 20% off, and they'll send a Tom and Dan sticker or magnet with
I've
the
always
order.
wanted to say something like this. Hey, Tom, you know, the benefits are clear. It's liquidglassguard.com.
Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Show number 500 is...
You always got to do something different.
It scared the hell out of me. I was like, what's happening?
I didn't. I know.
Shut her down.
I didn't want to say anything. I just couldn't think of any other songs that had 7-5 in it. Hey, welcome to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Let's see here. Butler brought me a birthday balloon of Baby Yoda that is bigger than I am.
Yeah, show it on the camera for the Twitch.
Oh, yeah. Here, I'll put it on the Twitch camera. Here's
so cute.
Here's my Baby Yoda balloon here. But Travis Butler is here. Hey, Travis Butler.
Hello.
And on news today, Mr. Seth Petrozelli. What mic are you on? Great. Oh, sorry. I pressed the wrong button. I apologize.
You went over this before you started, too.
I know. I did. Hey, it's my birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday.
I'm 44-year-old man. Very old man. Inflamed prostate. Can't sleep. Stomach hurts all the time. IBS. More paranoid than ever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad.
You're better now. You're good.
Yeah. Well, my hypochondria is not as bad as it used to be. And I don't know if that has to do with COVID or what. But something's going on. But yeah. Hey, welcome to the show. Here we are.
So happy birthday, Daniel.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
How does it feel it's just
I mean,
it makes
you're
me sad.
almost 50.
It makes me sad. I really am. It
Yeah.
makes me sad. Like, honestly, I wasn't going to go.
Next year will be the bad one.
Yeah, it
Ooh.
is. That's if you're lucky, that's your halfway point. And for me, we all know that it's just not going to happen. Unless.
Halfway
See, you're definitely more of an optimist
Well,
than
the
me.
offset chance.
Passed that a while
Well,
ago.
no, there's an offset chance that I have little dog syndrome like Caesar.
Yeah.
Like he's, how old is Caesar now, Andrea? 14. He doesn't look 14. He looks incredible.
Yeah, he'll just get lumpy.
No, he does. You can't tell because he's all white. He's having the gray hairs
Exactly.
right
But he
there.
does. He's not lumpy. He's had lumps, but they go away.
Yeah.
He seems a little slow, but
Well,
that's to be
he's just
expected.
a sleepy boy.
He's just a chill dude. Tom and I can't figure out
He's
if
a
he's
secondhand
really
smoker.
stupid or if he's really smart. But he's one of those. He's not in the middle.
He's on the spectrum on one side.
But hey, next week you should come in for the show again. We're going to do a contest: Caesar the dog versus Remy the podcaster. We're going to do a whole
that's what
Trivial Pursuit.
trivial
Trivial
Next-
Pursuit.
Yeah, in Trivial Pursuit.
next week is Rocky's 10th birthday. My dog.
Rocky! Shout out to Rocky. But yeah, it is my birthday. But to answer your question, Tom,
Yeah, he's 10 years old. He's still alive.
but he looks.
No, I
really-
give birthdays from when he's
Now, don't take this the wrong way, but your dog Rocky looks older than Caesar.
No, are you
yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah. He looks
Have you
way-
seen? But energy-wise, he's like running around.
Yeah, right. But
crazy.
Caesar's just
Sniffing butts.
Yeah, he's just a stoner. Doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, Tom, yeah, it sucks. It makes me feel fucking old and shitty and not good.
Yeah.
Not good at all.
But in the grand scheme of things, 44 and in current day era is
my birth.
not that old yet.
44.
You still dress like your 30s.
Yeah, I do. I'm holding on to it so hard.
I'm not saying anything about it. I do
I'm
the same
grabbing
thing.
onto it. At least you got the muscle tone to pull it off. Like for me, it's just like I end up looking like Joe C. Kid Rock's little friend who died years ago.
Do you feel like every year you get older that you get a little better?
I think that's a lie. I think that's what people say. Well, I get better at life, I think. Like, I'm better at this show. I'm better at organizing things here. I'm better at, I'm better at that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I often find like age brings, the old cliche, it brings wisdom.
Sure.
But you do start learning from your mistakes a little bit. I know this is bizarre coming from me, but as I get older, I often find myself like, don't do that. Just wait a minute.
But from the past that it feels good if you do it. Even if it's So I'm like, I'm going to do this.
I also get mad.
It'll be different this time. That's how I think.
It took me a lot. It took me a long time. Like, it took me 44 years. This is embarrassing. It took me 44 years to correctly master something that you do quite well, which is the not to be reactionary and to give it a beat. Give it a couple Mississippis. In everything, I mean, unless you're trying to save your kid from drowning in the bottom of a pool, don't give that Mississippi's. Get that now.
Right.
You go for that. You react incredibly quickly on that one. But for everything else that's not really an emergency, give it a couple beats. Typically, you're gonna be better.
I don't know what made me think of this.
But it took me 44 years to actually get okay at that. And even then, I'm not that good.
Do you think after 44 years, at this point right now, you are at the best at the game of jacking it?
No,
That took a turn. I did not see that
no.
coming.
That's like
Or did it pass your sweet spot?
No. That's like jujitsu. That's like jujitsu. You never fully master it.
I think you learn. I think you definitely get better.
Like
you
for
learn
me,
exactly how to time it.
Masturbation is like jujitsu. Like right now, am I better than I was when, let's say, I was 16? Oh my God, yes.
Right.
But I have a very, very long way to go.
Well, follow me with this logic.
Very long.
Do some research, man.
Well, it's a journey. No, it's a whole journey. I just want to get better. I want to get to the point where I can just sit because I've already mastered the idea of like looking up at a mirror and getting a boner by just like a mind boner.
Yeah. Well, that was a long time ago. You did
That's
that.
right. That's true.
No, I can still do it.
Did that in your 20s?
I can do. I
Test
can
it over
lay
the weekend.
I can lay in bed next to my wife and just think about things and just like and work it up as hard as like if it's somebody's touching it.
That's super impressive.
I ask her. Ask, can I do that?
I'm so jaded.
Can I do that? Yeah. See, I can do that. Yeah, I can just lay there and I'm like, and it just, there it is.
Because
it is. It's
I'm there with you, bro.
Yeah, I'm better at it.
In certain sports,
Caesar just sat between them like he's a cast member now. Yeah, he's just chilling out.
In certain sports, there's like a law of diminishing returns. So it's like, let's say an NFL running back, they usually hit their prime in their late 20s, early 30s because they talk about by that time you have your strength still, but you have experience that led you to. Now, after 30s, then you start getting diminishing strength, and then no matter how much experience you have, unless you're Frank Gore, then it just you can't do it anymore.
Well, even he's got diminishing strength. It's he's an anomaly.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like
that's a great question.
You get better at jacking it because it's something most guys do every day.
But naturally, my jacker is losing.
Your prostate is not as good.
So I'm getting better at it.
Tom, have you peaked with jacking then? Is that what you're saying?
No, I know.
He'll never.
There's no way he's peaked. He does it in such a savage way that he is in a bathroom in complete silence, hiding from his family, trying to get it accomplished as fast as possible. That can't be that pleasurable.
I hit my peak at like 31.
31.
It's all downhill.
Like when you jack it, it's almost as if you're gasping for air.
Right.
It's an involuntary. It's like I gotta get it out. And that's it. Like for me, it's more of like
an event.
Well, for me, it's like
I know it's gonna be 30 minutes worth of stuff.
30 minutes.
Me jacking off is like me. Think Amy Winehouse going in to rip some sweet, sweet vocals for Mark Ronson when they did the Back to Black album. That's what jacking is to me.
No, okay, yeah,
it's like an artist going in and laying down like
it's a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. Okay, even at its worst, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah. So if we watch it, we'd be like, "Oh my god!"
You'd be like, "This man's a fucking maestro. Look at him go!"
The saber dancer. What does that have? What's going on there?
That's the finger in, finger out.
No.
How are you supposed to hit the wall?
I'm still ninja jacking it in and out real quick.
Well, that's called sex, by the way.
So,
why are you guys matching today?
I know.
That kind of freaked me out. I didn't get the memo.
Every birthday we wear matching. We wear our birthday outfits, and then we're going to Disney Springs after this. And we're getting married.
We didn't even notice until the first 25 minutes we were standing talking to each other.
Half an hour.
And then Daniel's like, "God damn it, we wore the same shirt."
I was like, "God damn it, I almost wore those shorts."
You guys don't have like 50 other shirts back there that you can change into.
But I get to a point where I'm just like, "Well, fuck it, I don't even care."
Yeah, I mean, Crystal finally did laundry. So I had the stack
of shirts. She did that for my birthday, by the way,
on the piano, and I was
yes, the laundry piano.
I was shuffling through them. I'm like, I'll take the new Tom and Dan, the Danger Brain 10-year anniversary logo one. Anyway. And then Daniel was something. I think our periods aligned after so many years of working together. We have similar thoughts.
It's just gross.
So let me plug a couple things.
Yeah, plug some stuff.
Our Father's Day packages, the bundles are on TomandDan.com. We've got Realman shirts up there.
Yep.
We got the Tom and Dan leggings. If you want,
I bought a pair, but I got the tiny shorts.
Yeah, I did too. The 4-inchers.
Yeah, I got the tiny shorts, and then I'm going to get my wife to wear the leggings, and I'm going to wear the tiny shorts, and then we're going to do those videos that I know you'll know, evolved fights. Everybody knows that.
You should rent out the jungle for
evolved fights. Can we shoot some evolved fights?
Is that like I don't know?
You haven't seen it? What do you mean?
Come on, don't you look at him fake.
No, I swear. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know that's what it's called. Is it where they fight naked or the one that gets the fucking porn star?
Is it because Tracy's watching?
No, I don't think she just got her. I was going to talk about that. She got her wisdom teeth pulled, so I have to take care of her. I'm babysitting her. Literally babysitting her. Yeah. The last ex had that done too. I get them right at that age where they get their wisdom teeth pulled. So I had to do this. The doctor's like, I don't know if you had to do this before.
How many Sweet 16 parties have you thrown?
Do you have a penis-shaped egg? Or an egg-shaped penis?
That would be weird.
You know what's funny is I was taking a poop this morning and I looked down and I was like, I can see the egg. Like, I looked at it, I was like,
you got the egg?
No, not me, but I'm just saying, I could see where, like, I was trying to look at my own penis and be like, well, how does it look like an egg? But then, if it retracts enough and the bottom is big enough.
Yeah, if it's still full of blood but retracts a little bit, it gets that little.
It gets eggy.
Puff, like a little puff monster.
But yeah, so the
I'm on
like
evolvedfights.com right now. Triple X mixed wrestling with winner fucks loser.
Yeah! Oh, you would be Jordan of that, Sam, because you're tall.
Yeah, but it's women fighting men.
Yeah.
Isn't that a win-win scenario?
Yeah, and then the winner gets to choose what.
There's some bad angles on
here. You get to beat up a woman and then fuck her. Right?
No, you don't.
Is that what he's talking about?
I mean, that's what it looks like.
That's what it sounds like.
You don't really fight.
There's a sibling rivalry round.
It's an exhibition fight.
I like how they they're like, what else do we need?
Let's make this more weird.
Added the
how have I never heard of this?
Let's make it interracial stepsister.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
I know it's been around for a while. I remember somebody showing me that a while ago.
But it's like you didn't need to do it. God. And it's always awkward when they're sitting there and it's like they give them they try to give them like an MMA name. It's like, my name's Harvey the Queef Johnson. And it's like, well, that's stupid. Now you're just goofing on.
Now I'd be nervous being put in a triangle and all that sort of thing. So maybe that's what they're going after.
It'd be funny if like
queefed on in a triangle.
If it got so popular, similar to like what professional wrestling did, is like they hire MMA guys like Seth to come train.
No, they do.
So it looks.
I'll be that stud to do that.
There have been a lot of MMA guys that have gone and done
not real enough.
Porno.
Dude, these guys look like fighters. I don't know if they are or not.
Yeah, they're amateur fighters, but there have been guys like, that one crazy guy that almost tried, he almost killed this.
War Machine?
Yeah.
Oh, War Machine.
I mean, first of all, fuck that guy, but, a lot of those...
He was a good friend of mine until I found out all that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of those guys do...
That adds up.
A lot of those guys do, like, porno. Like, there have been a handful of them that because, you're out there, you got a good body. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah,
we can we have like sustaining power,
stamina,
thank you.
Stamina.
He said stamina.
I said sustaining power.
We got stamina.
Stamina Jones.
Does it translate to
being in shape and cardio? Oh yeah,
it's cardio.
Definitely for sure.
Now
I could last like a whole day.
Oh, really?
Nah.
But
I can go for a while for sure. Yeah.
Does your partner?
I don't want to do that though. I don't.
Yeah, but they don't like that.
I get bored after like.
Also, isn't it
15, 20 minutes?
You're pounding it too hard, right?
Well,
it
what
hurts.
Are you doing?
Right? Well, some people like that.
Okay. I mean, I just like, but that hurts.
Well, what are you trying to do?
Or her too.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, because
the girl, right?
Well, getting it further in isn't. I don't think getting it further in is pleasurable.
Well, you're pounding the top
for anybody. I just don't.
I think so.
Like you got a muscle
the tip of my head on a cervix.
Like Seth's got a hard muscle pappus.
Yeah,
and he's pounding the top. So it's like
not good.
It's like if you just had the top and you're like, gah, gah, gah. Like
what you really need.
I got a soft.
I don't know. I stare at my abs the whole time. I don't know.
Oh my god!
Get him out of here.
The only reason I do that sometimes is because I want to make sure they're looking for her staring at them. So I'm like, so I'm flexing for her.
So you're like the director. You're checking your own angles. You're like, okay, good thing my abs are still looking good. She's still hot.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Kind of, yeah.
That is.
That makes sense.
But I want to make sure I want to make sure I don't look stupid as I'm doing.
I think the act is not exactly. I mean, everybody at some point looks a little weird doing it.
Oh, for sure.
You know, but you know what you need, because Tom brings up a very excellent point. You're too hard. You need to be softer.
Squishy.
But if you're softer, then that eats your dick. So the perfect sex partner would be cardio, fat guy, big dick.
Oh, I just invented something.
So like a power lifter. If you can find like somebody like. I don't know who would have a high level of cardio, but would be like a lineman. But you'd need a big dick to make sure that you can extend yourself past the pappus.
I got it. It's the blue gel inserts you put in bike seats, so it doesn't flare your
Fisher
roids.
has one of those, so his pussy lips don't get raw. Yeah.
So we'll come up with a pappus pillow that Seth would strap on to the top of his pappus.
So it's like a boppy.
Yeah, so that when he's pounding it, it
gives
doesn't
you some cushion.
It's like a cushion?
Yeah, the cushion.
It feels like it would block the depth.
I don't like this idea.
Why?
No.
But you don't want to bruise. because I think
because he's too aggressive. And that pound in the top
slap just comes with changing the rhythm up. You gotta you can't do that the whole freaking time.
He doesn't understand rhythm. He doesn't know what motion of the ocean is.
No, yes, he does.
You gotta do a little bit, and then you gotta
no, he doesn't.
Well, what does that mean? Are you changing up a fast, slow?
Yeah, grind a little bit. Get it, feed off her,
grind a little.
Feed off her pleasures and stuff.
Feed off her pleasures. What are you, a demon?
Listen to her.
Listen to her.
Before we have sex, open your mouth. I have to suck your soul out of your mouth. Hold on.
I want you to say plus one, like an Alexa. I'll go faster. Minus one.
Alexa,
hey, Thomas, I don't know. Speed up plus one.
Fuck Pappas, what's your speed at? The fuck speed is at 31. Fuck speed 28. I'm getting tired.
It's just the speed of the rain. I know. We go.
Alexa, shuffle Pappas.
Someone teach Tom how to fuck.
We don't know. I think
poor Crystal.
Okay, first of all, he's got 2 boys, so he knows.
Must be doing something.
He can accomplish having children, but
no, that's a manly thing.
Is it enjoyable?
We would have to one day we'll have to do a chat with the masters with your wife's sex life.
Yeah.
I want in on that so bad.
No, you don't.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, he does.
No,
hey, bring your Papa's pillow.
Seth brings up a good point. Seth, do you look at men that have boys as more manly?
That's why.
That's my pop.
That's why, as much as I don't want to admit this, you're here. Sorry. He's got way more testosterone pumping through those veins.
But it's not true. I had it tested. Daniel's got more.
Maybe I'll have a boy thing.
No, probably now since you've tightened up. I bet you have more than I do now.
I don't know. I was always on the low side, so I don't know what it is. But you must have whatever my pop-up had. I only have boys.
Yeah, I like that.
And speaking of my boys,
your balls or your sons?
No, my sons. They haven't had a haircut in 4 months or 5 months.
Little Einstein.
I was going to address the we've just given up. That I've seen them in here a couple of times, and I've never seen their hair brushed, which is weird.
Correct.
Talking to Bernie Sanders.
I mean, he is their father. You see his hair.
But now Max is starting to grow a mullet.
Yes.
And I want to go full on long mullet, both of them.
Yeah. Well, first he's got to get a Kool-Aid mustache.
No,
Kentucky
you can't
waterfall.
let Tommy have a mullet. That'd be too much. He's already a nerd. You can't be nerd with a mullet.
I think that makes you cooler.
Yeah,
no,
it does.
Because nerds have nerd haircuts. Not
you
mullets.
need to get Tommy a tiny hat with a propeller on the top, and you need to get Max a mullet, and then they'll fit their stereotype.
Okay,
right.
You know what I mean?
Could I?
We'll give them the Dumb and Dumber haircuts. One has the bowl cut, and one has the long.
That's not bad. Like I'm getting Maisie the flipper that you put in her mouth to make her teeth look straight, like she's a pageant.
Yeah.
I mean, you just gotta. You can't fight it. At some point, you just gotta give into it, right?
Yeah. I'm
also putting in extensions in her hair.
Jesus.
And making her booty pop. I think. I'm kidding. That's what those parents do. That shit.
Padded underwear.
Those parents do that shit.
Could I groom them to my stereotype that it's in my head that I associate with them? You know, because sometimes they don't follow. Like all of a sudden, Max is will be smarter than Tommy and certain things.
Oh yeah, they're different kids.
No, stop that. It doesn't fit.
Yeah, you're off brand.
You're the strong dumb one.
Yes.
You're the nerd.
Stay in your lane. Yeah.
That's what I want. That's what is already in my head. And they something they don't follow that. So can I groom them so that
stereotype isn't always correct? You know,
it's not. But I do tell my daughter, I'm like, you don't need to worry about school. You're gonna marry rich. I tell her that. I was like, you don't need education. Nobody. What are you, crazy? Oh, my God.
Just work.
Just look at how hard your mom works. Do you want to be like that? You want to be like that?
You need to find a older rich man.
Yes. With an egg penis.
You need to find someone like
God.
Uncle
Stop bringing it up.
It's so gross.
It is.
It's the grossest thing. In fact, it's so gross that when they were asking him about the egg penis, anybody that says they have an egg penis should be killed on sight. Like, it's just gross. It's just not good. It's bad. Egg penises are bad. Just say no to them.
So we talked about Felicia's fight on our BDM show, all about it. So if you want to listen to the recap,
indeed,
you can go back and listen to this Monday's BDM show.
Most people already know she won and is the new champ.
And
she got beat up twice, once in the ring and the next time on the airplane from me from sitting behind her.
You're such a mean.
You can hear the whole story at the BDM show, but I want to ask Seth, like when you get that much, because me and Daniel often talk about like the day and age of you getting a platform or like a super popular platform, like we always make the comparison of the Johnny Carson shows. Like that's how if a comedian made it on Carson, then his career was made at that point.
Well, like just this in simple, like for me, the simplicity of more eyes on female fighting now than ever because of lack of sports. Yeah. Automatically, there's a multiplication kind of a game you're playing there. As far as like, I think more people know who Felicia Spencer is just based on what we all went through than probably
ever before. Yeah.
So I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and plus, she's also fighting a fighter that most people say no holds barred is the best, and she came off like a good champ. So the whole equation is just fucking good. It's really good. It
added up really good.
Yeah, really good.
So
win or lose, it's just good.
And we've talked about how that kind of has gone away with the dilution of everything, and
they just talked about it on the Lipson podcast last week. They did the MASH analogy about you won't have that many eyes ever again.
But there's still some things like Joe Rogan, like the comedians will talk about it. You get on Rogan, and that'll propel your career to a new level. You'll get an insane amount of followers. So I'm often curious, like, so when Felicia goes through this, she's a main event in a fight, obviously a shit ton of attention towards her or whatever. Does anything happen after? Is there a flood of phone calls? Or are people like interested? Like, what does it do for you?
She got a whole box of hot sauces delivered to the gym.
Wow! Like we were right, Tom.
Like 30 hot sauces from somebody in Canada.
Dear Felicia, this is Texas Pete. I am a big fan of you fighting, and the fact that you still teach the little gorillas just warms old Texas Pete's heart.
All right, so she got the hot sauce.
She got the hot sauce. Right. That's all. Wow. No, I mean she's obviously.
Good thing she put in all that work.
Yeah. She showed it to me. She's like, I don't think I can go all through this set. Do you want some hot sauce? I'm like,
she's so sweet. Like, she's the nicest person. Because to her, that hot sauce was sent from Canada, and she'd be like, "Oh wow, this is so great. Thanks so much."
Appreciative.
And I guarantee you, she will write them back and say thank you so much and be the kindest, sweetest person. Something was like, "Fucking hot sauce. Put that shit in the trash."
I don't even like hot food, but I took it anyway. Give it to me.
Can't waste it. I'll put it in somebody's eyes as a bet. Who wants to do a bro bet with me?
So, because I'd have to imagine, do they even give you the numbers of how people that watch it? Are they releasing that info?
I'm sure they released it. They didn't give it to us. I'm sure we can find that out. I don't think that's hard to find out. I know it's public knowledge, but I mean, I know she's gotten a lot of phone calls for interviews and stuff, but as far as besides that, I haven't talked. She's literally taken this whole week off. I saw her once because everyone went to Alice just to have a quick bite to eat and get together, and then I haven't. But it was the whole gym, so everyone was talking to her. So I'm not bothering her for a little bit. She's going on vacation this weekend, a little road trip with her hubby just to get away, and then we'll probably come back and talk.
So let's talk about a subject that you really like yourself, because
what's up about that?
Two things
eating butt
that we didn't talk about, but the day Felicia fought was like the something anniversary of Kimbo Slice's death, which I thought was weird.
And I knew that, and I was going to post something, but I didn't want to take anything away from it, so I posted nothing but Felicia that day.
Yeah.
And plus, I didn't want to be labeled. I don't know, everything was going on.
Yeah. Well, you have to be careful about that.
I already got an email from somebody, like some random person. It was really weird. It's like, I'll say it. I don't care. Like, I got a Instagram message saying from a troll account. It had no posts, 0, whatever. And they're like, I'm going to out you. I'm going to out you for good. You go against black people all the time fighting and you knock them all out. Everyone will know how much of a racist you are. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, during this time, I was like,
so I'm not posting. You got my messages. How did my message make you feel?
I started sweating profusely immediately just for no reason, because I hate being like labeled anything.
So, but it goes to show you a different, like, because... And now I guess that the Kimbo Slice thing was, there was so much hype behind it that when you beat him, that because you got a flood of calls. Like after that changed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Your life, and like a bunch of people wanted to do business with you all of a sudden, and like pulling you this way and that way.
I'll buy a smoothie.
Yeah, I just.
It worked out great. 2 years later, filed bankruptcy and got divorced.
Some would say Kimbo sliced up your marriage.
It's just.
Can I have my smoothie without comment it, please?
It's weird to me. It's just like with so many people that like not really opportunists, but that just would see an opportunity with getting in business with Felicia or whatever. With her, the amount of attention she got, you would think
any new sponsors or anything.
Yeah, you would think that she would be.
That's the thing. It sucks because sponsors, she can't do anything.
They locked it up. Yeah, it's a different animal.
So
now.
She'll definitely be probably getting paid more from Reebok, which would be nice.
But it's the same thing.
Her social media following is huge.
I know, and I need to help. I need to help her out with that a little bit because she doesn't. I don't think she takes full advantage of. At all. First of all, I told her she has to get a new phone because her phone, the pictures she's posting on social media are not that, or they're grainy and they're not that good. Yeah. It's an old phone. I'm like, Felicia, you're fighting a championship bout. You have to get a new phone.
Yeah. Well, it's a jitterbug. She doesn't need anything really other than that.
Yeah. It's
okay. Some people aren't into that.
She's not superficial. Like,
but it's business wise. Seth is right. Like
exactly. Thank you.
You were on a championship fight with, it's got to be, now I didn't look at the numbers, but with no other sports, it had to have been a record breaking.
Sam put it in the Twitch chat room. She
viewership,
said,
I would think.
Sam says the UFC 250 prelims ended up at number 2 overall in cable ratings for the past Saturday night, but the card ended up dead last among all pay-per-views for 2020 thus far.
No way.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Really? Yeah.
But I think that means all pay-per-view, not just.
I also think there's a little trickery there in your wording because I believe you did need ESPN Plus to opt in.
Yes.
So there's something else going on there. That's not because I know what you're saying, and Tom's right. And this is. I think they're just skewing it differently based on the fact that you needed to opt in for the channel.
What other pay-per-views have there been this year? Like that?
There was that last UFC fight.
I know that got big numbers.
And I know WrestleMania, and that's not true. They couldn't be counting WrestleManias or any of that stuff because nobody watched that, and everybody said it sucked anyway. Like when they went ahead with it over here at the Performance. I mean, I've been watching on Mondays, and I guess they'll be live tonight. I've been watching and enjoying it, but just to do the first one like WrestleMania that way, I'd have probably just rescheduled it,
right?
And just wait till you can at least get a couple of people in there because it was weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
But personally, I haven't talked to her about like what stuff is because I'm not technically her manager, so I'm not in control of any of that stuff. So I mean, it's on her. But I mean, I would like to know because that's interesting. I never really thought to even question if she's getting.
It just seems like with that much attention, it's funny because people often assume that like all it takes is for some famous person to mention your name or
Connor Cowboy was the January fight.
Oh, really?
Thank you, Twitch chat room. Yeah, that would make sense. That's a huge name, so that would make sense.
Yeah, that's going to be more popular. But people, they think that like, if this person mentioned you guys, or if this person wore your shirt, or this person, and it's like, man, I don't think that would move the needle. Like, what does that do?
It really doesn't. And I mean, people over exaggerate stuff where they think they can get you so much popularity. It doesn't work like that.
And people are right in the chat. They're saying a lot of illegal streams.
Yeah,
that'll take away some of your pay-per-view.
It will.
I might have something to do with that. I'm joking.
We're in the business.
I'm joking on the Instagram. I didn't live it, but at the end I recorded something and put it on my Instagram.
that would be frowned upon, right? Like,
I think it's all. No, you were like they didn't say anything about my camera there. I filmed Dana White coming up to us and putting the belt on, Amanda and stuff like that, and nobody said anything. So I didn't film the fight. It was after the fight.
So
get him.
Speaking of Dana White, and this is the last we'll talk about fighting, but you think that Conor McGregor thing of him announcing his retirement, that's just him trying to get more money?
Yeah, I guarantee he's not really retired.
Yeah,
no way.
So what is that move? Just you create a bunch of attention and it creates people start putting pressure on the UFC to
or just puts the eyes back on you because the eyes were getting on people that are actually fighting and stuff like that. A little bit off him, so it's just getting eyes back on him, man.
Yeah, so you just claim. Can you do the same thing 5 times in a row?
But that's what he's doing. It's so obvious that's what he's doing.
But that goes back to.
But it works.
That goes back to to what you were just saying about, I mean, like, he obviously knows how to manipulate his social media and the messages he puts out there.
Yeah, exactly.
We might have a president that's pretty fucking good at that. You know, I'm just saying, you know, there is some truth to being able to, how to navigate that. Unfortunately, I don't do a good enough job. Like if you look at my social media now, I don't, because in the past, you know, it can be such a negative place and people like to get in there and argue and mix it up. Yeah. You're very rarely will you see anything other than a picture of me and Maisie or when we're broadcasting. That's it. Everything else is pretty much off the table for me, and I hate that, but I just hate the negativity, too. That's my birthday wish for today. It's just everybody out there, fucking be nice to each other. That's my wish. If you want to you want to get me something for my birthday, stop fucking arguing on Facebook. There's my gift.
Facebook is the word. Like just Instagram and Twitter, it wasn't that.
I'm serious. Facebook do that and prove to me you've stayed off Facebook and have not argued with people in your family and or your friends, and you'll make my birthday very happy.
So,
fucking hate it.
Have you guys? You guys are familiar with the game Guess Who, the board game?
Yeah.
Seth, you remember? It's like you flip up. It's like two different, like red or blue.
All my friends
and he has glasses, and you have to say his glasses.
You guess characteristics.
My friends had it, and I always thought it was for babies. Seriously, like I
liked it when I was.
I never had it. You know, like it would.
We should do a Tom and Dan Guess Who.
Restarting the game was easy because you just had to flip over them all, and they all went.
Wait a minute. So we're gonna do a Tom and Dan Guess Who. I'll buy the game
from the show.
I'll buy the game this weekend, and I'll put like all the R team on there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah,
we gotta go through a lot.
That's not a bad idea.
So, Crystal's been into buying board games for the boys. So we've got like
Clue?
a collection. Not Clue yet. That may be too advanced.
We're going through Uno in the Dennis household. Uno is the
Yahtzee's always a great one.
Uno's. Did you play that last night?
Shoots and ladders. By the way, shoots and ladders can take an excruciating amount of time to play. I literally
Candyland's where it's at. That's a 1 minute game.
I think I sat down and I played Shoots and Ladders with the boys, and it was like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
it was almost at the end, and I was like, no, 3, I was like, God, and all the way back down the slide. I'm like, no! Yeah. I got to start over again. I was begging.
That's what I hate in Candyland when I get the peanut. I'm like, goddamn peanut! Yeah. No, all the way back.
We should do like a couples Twister night.
All right.
Yeah. But we switched the couples, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Can I invite my mom? Her titties hit the ground.
left nipple green.
Let the titties hit the ground.
What is that wife swap, like well-produced porno that's out there?
You've finally seen something I haven't seen, sir.
No, it's like a cross between some sort of
the
reality
Playboy
show.
One, Oh no, that's
and they're always in the same genie room at the end.
The genie room, and then the guys are all tan, and the guys always get like a puka shell necklace.
Yeah. And then they're interviewing them in the limo, and then like, I've never had a threesome before. The whole thing.
We find that this makes our relationship a lot better. Nothing gets me more rock hard than watching some other man suck on your pussy lips.
So back to Guess Who. So I'm playing it with my sons, and it took a while to explain the concept of, like, you got to guess.
Oh, to have audio of that.
Please start filming some of these.
That's my birthday gift. I need audio of you teaching your sons board games.
And I'm not joking. I think Tommy may be pretty close to being smarter than I am. At this point,
wow. Look at the whole room is shocked.
Because I was on Max's team.
He's a clever kid, man.
And Crystal's on Tommy's team. And then it's Tommy's turn to ask a question, you know, like once he got the idea of it. And then he's like, is your character looking to the left? And I was like,
genius.
And I was like, looking to the left. And I was like, first I started to be like,
you had to put your hands
that's not part of the rules. I would flip the table. Like,
that is part of the rules.
I'm like, they're all looking the same way, you idiot. And then I look and I was like, my God, there's only a certain amount looking to the left. I was like,
the fact that you wanted to call him an idiot when you didn't even look at the board game.
You're cheating. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the most brilliant question I guess you ever heard. Because
you've told us a few things that he has said or done, and I'm like, I think this kid might actually be gifted.
I'm
like, he
does your
thinks
kid have
differently.
blonde hair? I'm gonna go blonde hair.
Yeah, very generic.
Glasses. I'm gonna go there. Boy or girl?
Glasses.
That's all I got. And I was like, I played Guess Who when I was a kid. Never dawned on me to ask where the character was looking.
Would your character vote in a liberal primary. What? I'm sorry.
God damn.
Would my character vote in the Democratic primary? I mean,
I'm going to start looking at their last names here.
See what I got here.
Theorizing.
What is the median income of each of your people's households?
Blow your mind.
Your character have an egg dick.
Oh, no. Also, how high were you?
It never dawned on me to ask where they were looking.
What was Max's question?
He was it was like boy or girl. Like, and then
can I get a what? Because
I'm like, I think you beat the game.
He likes to be cool.
Because
you beat the game.
Because that
mastered the game.
Because which way they're looking actually eliminates the most amount.
But is it looking from your point of view or from their point of view?
Well, we had to. Yeah, there took a lot of confusion. I was like, why not looking to their left or your left? Then when he finally, it eliminated half the board and he won. Because after that it was a beard or no beard, glasses. We guessed the goddamn guy.
Sunk your
also, did you pick an easy one? Did you pick a guy with glasses and a beard? And everybody does that. Everybody goes for who's the craziest looking? Well, pick that one. And then your first question is, does he have a beret? And you're like, yes. He's like, got it.
I'm stopped working. I'm just making me famous.
I thought Tommy in here.
I thought it was for babies. You know, guess who? Yeah. As a kid, I wasn't like. I think I missed the spot for it. So by the time I got to play it, I was too old for it and didn't appreciate it. Yeah. Then there were other games that I considered for nerds that I didn't want to play, like Risk was a nerd game, Stratego was a nerd game. These are all games that I would people would get and want me to play, and I'd be like, I'm not playing that because it's not fucking cool.
We played Win, Lose, or Draw a lot in our house.
Yeah, Pictionary.
Big drawing thing.
Did your parents go through phases where the new hit board game would come out and then they'd buy it and then you'd play it, or they'd play it with their friends?
The thought of my parents playing games with me is foreign.
I mean, I guess you'd have to.
Did it ever happen?
My dad played Monopoly with us a couple times, but it was always a fucking disaster because he'd be drunk and he'd flip the goddamn.
Pass go. That's 200 oxes.
So then we just never wanted to play with him again.
My dad would make up games. He'd put a bunch of random stuff into a pillowcase, and we'd have to close our eyes and guess what it was.
What the fuck?
There's a hole in the bottom of the pillowcase.
Oh my
you reach out in. Reach down in there. There's some candy in there. Look, you got it.
You caught the snake.
I guess.
Now, when you reach in there, just make sure you're really tugging that gummy worm. That's a gummy worm.
No, the weird one was he made.
And if you're not tugging it hard enough, I'll knock your mom down the stairs.
Oh, come on! It wasn't my mom. The weird one was
someone's mom.
That's a fact. That's a top hand guarantee. It wasn't not someone's mom.
Yeah, it wasn't. No, sorry. It was my stepsister or half sister's mom.
Oh my god!
As a kid, as you can imagine, we'd open the game, play it one time, lose all the pieces, and never be able to play it again.
That sounds right.
But I had the crazy games, and I was real particular at putting everything back. And I know you're big on the nature nurture thing, and Maisie's that girl. When she's done, her Uno cards go back into a bag, and then they go in the thing. Or if she's done playing Candyland, the cards go into a Ziploc bag. She zips it, lays it in there, folds the board, puts it back. Just make sure everything.
Immediately. Not only open the game. When you open the game, they rip the sides so the box flaps. So when you put the lid back on, it's loose.
You gotta tape it.
You gotta put some painter's tape on.
You got a loose lid, and then of course, they lost the spinny thing that you have to fucking spin the arrow. That's lost. Then all the game pieces, you got only the stands. So not the actual cardboard cutout that goes in the stand.
Yeah.
So you have to just play with a yellow stand to the base.
On the yellow stand.
Yellow stand van.
Yeah. And then I'm just looking at my sons. I'm like, you're gonna have a rough going.
Jesus, man.
Better,
What was your favorite?
Find your lane.
What was your favorite board game as a kid? EJ picked mine. It's funny that EJ knew that Crossfire.
Ooh, Crossfire was good.
What is that? I've never heard of it.
I forgot about Crossfire. That's like a teenager game.
That's not a board game, though.
Yeah, that's not a board game. That's like Hungry Hippos.
Hungry Hippos was a good time.
I believe the Crossfire would be
another game we can't play anymore. I lost all the marbles. We have the hippos.
I honestly believe this
wasn't politically correct.
Connect 4 was a big one.
This was in the board game category, guys. Like I'm almost
It's a
positive.
tabletop game, though.
This is a great song.
That's like saying air hockey's a fucking board game.
Crossfire.
The ultimate challenge.
I remember this.
Oh, I begged and begged for this for Christmas.
You're shooting a fidget spinner with a marble.
Yeah.
Well, it was just a marble with a piece of plastic around it.
Yeah.
This game was so fucking good.
You'll get caught up in it.
Okay, this is the only time we've played this commercial before.
I used to dress like that and play it too.
This is
all black leather, black gloves.
We've played this commercial before in the show. This is the first time I've ever realized that they don't say one fucking word about the game. They just scream Crossfire.
Crossfire! Well, what are they going to say about it?
No, but there should be a guy that says, use your marble gun to shoot the other purple plastic marble thing into the, like there should be some guy.
No,
it's pretty simple, though. But I remember
it's kind of self-explanatory. They showed you what.
My god sisters had that game, and I loved it.
But it turned into a weapon in my house because then me and my brothers would just throw the BBs at each other.
Yeah, and they'd hurt.
Well, you can break the gun off, and you could use it to shoot.
God damn, that's advanced.
You could. The other game they had was Mousetrap.
Oh, yeah.
That was huge.
Never had
But there was another one that was like a contained Mousetrap. Like, Mousetrap had all these little shitty plastic things you had to set up.
Yeah.
There was a better version.
Like putting together the G.I. Joe Battleship every time you wanted to play.
There was a better version where the things were like almost pre-made. And it was thicker plastic, very expensive game that my god sisters had too. It was like the better version of Mousetrap. And you had a ball, a little metal ball, and you'd put it in there and you'd roll and it'd go through and do all these different contraptions. But for the life of me, I can't remember what the fuck it is. And I want to try and find it.
Or anything like that?
It wasn't Marble Madness. It was just like, think Mousetrap, but just
bigger. A possum
smaller, tighter, but like all of the little, like if you're doing like, what are those things called? They're called
Rube Goldberg.
Thank you, a Rube Goldberg. It's just a better engineered version of that, like where everything stayed set up. You didn't have to like take the little crane and connect it to the stick. You didn't have to do any of that. It was just ready to go. So you take the top off, you'd put the marble in, and then you start rolling the dice, and then you'd play.
Because the original Mousetrap, I did have that as a kid.
Of shit.
Got it worked one time, then
we never had it working.
We lost the cage.
Well, a lot of it didn't work.
The bucket was missing.
You'd do the thing, and then the cage it'd stick, and you'd be like, hold on, and then it would go down. You'd be like, this thing's a hunk of shit.
Yeah.
Like that was the biggest letdown as a kid, is when you get something that the commercial made it to look, it was amazing, but then you fucking got it and then it sucked.
The Nerf slingshot fucking sucked.
Was it called Screwball Scramble?
It's possible.
It's a bunch of plastic pieces that are like connected.
By the way,
it's possible. No, it was
What about Don't Wake Daddy? Anybody have that
Don't Wake Daddy was a good game, but Seth played that with a pillowcase. He's like,
I played the Harry a lot. The one where you just have the magnetic things, you make the face on the guy.
That's
the poor kid things.
That's for shit kids. It's just metal. It's a magnet and metal shavings.
Exactly.
That's what old iron workers' sons would play with in the corner when they're in there stamping out like auto parts and getting cancer.
Or the one where you move it, where you move the two balls and you make designs on it. That's a sketch.
That's just sketch is legit.
Sketch is good.
But I would only wite fuck in it, and that's even done for my brother and sister.
How old were you?
I was like 8.
Oh my God.
I was watching Boys in the Hood and like, fuck yeah, fuck.
Great movie.
They also got Operation, which is not a good game. It's stupid.
Yeah.
And,
but which version of Operation? Because my daughter has Operation as well. Her teacher brought it loaned it to her to play, and it is the Shrek version of Operation.
Oh, yeah.
And at one point, you have to remove a ginormous green ogre dick. It's hard. It's
egg shaped.
No, there's just like they do. It's like Shrek themed.
Yeah. That's better. I got the standard old school.
The fat guy.
Fatso.
With the big nose. They have like a big red nose.
It looks like John the Alarm Guy.
You're like,
it does. Looks exactly like it.
You're like, I don't want to even save this Fatso.
Yeah, Yeah.
Why is there a
pre-existing condition of diabetes?
Does he still have the butt cut?
Yeah. It's like, you know what would have saved you? Like
Fatso
right now. Like right now.
Fatso Buttcut's a great
That's
artist.
the name of the show. It's Fatso Buttcut. You're on the table, but, this is a solid 45 years of bad living.
Yeah. You should have had the Petro diet.
Yeah. I almost texted you about that. I'm interested.
For some reason, I'm fishing a T-bone steak out of your liver. What is that?
How do you even get that in there?
All right, let's take a quick break.
Should we do the shot now?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the shot. Butler, you about ready to do a shot?
I didn't even ask you. Yeah, news today, something.
Yeah. Right. What do you think? I don't do my job.
Nobody else here does it.
We got a standard going here.
Oh, we have the fish. Hold on.
Shrimp cube.
We have the shrimp cube. My wife brought a shrimp cube from the house. We're going to feed
We're making
the fish.
Butler eat
it. Oh, I thought someone took a shot of that. I was like, is this a bro deer? I'll do it.
Ooh, let Seth eat the shrimp cube.
Eat the shrimp. Okay, hold on.
For my wrestling pay, I'll do it.
Okay, here, Butler, you have the floor.
Never going to get
All right, raise one up for Mr. Double D. Today's his day. That's a TC guarantee. So thank his mom for not finishing with the gibber, and cheers to Dan for being the fastest swimmer. Bringing Dirty back 90210.
All right. Cannot believe you got through that. Bullet Tubby's like, I wrote too many words. I'm not going to be able to say them. I'm like, what?
Woo!
The best ending to all those is Tom going, all right, after every single time he does it.
That's Sugarworks moonshine.
That moonshine will get you, buddy.
I didn't know that was a full shot of moonshine.
Yeah.
New Smyrna shine.
That woke me the hell up.
I'm fucking alive now. Bring in the Guess Who! Already.
Wow.
Holy shit.
That is good, but that is strong.
I'm already drunk. Strong. Oh, that is what you drink. That's what you drink, I think.
I can see. I can see again. I can see everything.
Like that.
Can see clearly now.
I like that. That hurts.
My whole body's buzzing right now.
Yeah, holy. That's a donkey punch. Did you have some shark bite?
What proof is that?
Have some. Oh, you had some during Two Wife Crew. Oh, by the way, if you're a BDM member, Two Wife Crew, I released it secretly. The ladies didn't want any fanfare; they just wanted me to throw it out there, so I did. But if you jump in and join us live on Twitch from here on out on Fridays, what I'm going to do is I have like a 30-minute automated system I've set up. So I'm going to give you like 30 minutes of the last Friday free show, or maybe a BDM show that maybe you didn't hear, as kind of like a palate cleanser or like a teaser.
Yep.
So I'm giving you a little bit of an extra lead in, and we'll be able to start the show at 11:30. So Fridays at 11:30. We'll start today. We played That's Fucked Me Up.
I know. I feel it. I feel it. It's now my stomach.
It traveled.
It's radiating out the goodness.
Yeah. I feel really strong. Right now. But anyway, so we'll be starting at 11:30. And today you heard Two Wife Crew. If you're a BDM member, that is for download right now.
By the way, you can go to Sugarworks Distillery in New Smyrna Beach and pick yourself up a bottle of whiskey, hand sanitizer, and Tom and Dan shot glass. It's a little combo pack. It's like $34.99. $35.99. And great Father's Day present for anybody who likes whiskey. It's at Catalisa Creek whiskey.
It's tasty.
And yeah, it is great. We saw some BDMs already pick some up, so it's still available there at Sugarworks. And
Sugarworks were giving them shout-outs on the old Twitter feeds. Twitter feeds, rather. I'm drunk now.
Oh, my God, dude.
Fuck. But anyway, today... all the music, and it's cool because it is my birthday, and birthdays are fun. You want to dance and have some fun. We talked to our good friend DJ Dizzlefunk on Monday about an Orlando-based hip-hop mixtape that he put out. It just launched today.
And it's free.
It's completely free, so you got like 20-plus songs of all Central Florida hip-hop artists. We're going to play only hip-hop today and only local hip-hop. So let's start with the band that I believe Dizzle Funk is in. He's the resident DJ. Andrea's going to throw the shrimp. I'm drunk. She's going to throw the shrimp cube in the fish tank for everybody to eat. But this is Universal Funk Orchestra. The name of the song is Humalian. So you can dance to this a little bit, and we'll be back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this. 1-844-TOMNDAN if you want to call, or show at tomanddan.com to throw us an email.
It's the Bart Merrick team, Bart Merrick, Crystal Van. If you're looking to buy...
They the best! best.
Oh, no, you're doing that.
Yeah. I think this makes everything better. It makes everything better.
It makes it worse.
Bar Merrick, bar Merrick.
You're just screaming. You're not even saying anything.
No, I'm not. Actually, this is the only one I don't think Bart will like. Actually, I apologize.
You're just screaming his name. That doesn't give you any information.
I mean, at least they know his name.
You're just screaming, "We the best." That doesn't do anything.
Crystal Van.
What's going on, Bart?
Not too much. How you guys doing?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm embarrassing.
It's when you have the client on the line.
Yeah. Well, you didn't tell me that. Just blinking.
So, Bart, how's everything going? What should the people know? I actually saw a post on the maybe the BDM page or social media somewhere where someone was like, "Hey, should I sell my house right now or wait?" Like people. They don't know what's going on, and they don't know if they should. A lot of
uncertainty out there.
But they want to buy new houses. They don't know if right now is the right time or they should wait. What do you think?
It got really slow during the lockdown, but ever since they started opening things back up, it's gone pretty much back to normal at about the same rate. Crystal and I are still pretty busy. We have got a couple closings, actually one this week, got a couple next week, and it started to pick back up pretty good. Nothing's really changed very much. I have an investor from up in New York who calls me up to buy kind of cheap condos every now and then, just, income-producing stuff. And he called me assuming that we would have some type of price drop in the local market because of the pandemic. And really, I haven't seen that at all. In fact, everything's just been very steady. It got slow there for a couple months, but it's coming back pretty quick.
Yeah. It seems like people got confused because they heard the word recession and they remember the last recession and they're like, oh, well, there's going to be a million foreclosures and house prices are going to be slashed in half, and it's a different type of recession. That was a housing recession, and the type of recession we are in right now is completely different.
A little bit different.
And it's not affecting house prices, and like you said, it seems like things are pretty steady.
Oh, yeah. We're not showing property, we're listing property, and when we put something on the market for sale, we're getting under contract within a week. Buyers we're taking out showing property, we go submit offers, and sometimes it's a multi-bid, so there's other buyers out there, so it's back to busy for the most part.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I know a lot of friends, Samantha included, that have been buying and selling homes all throughout this. So, let's get at it. If you were looking to do it, get a hold of Bart or Crystal and see what they can do for you.
And Bart, when someone gives you or Crystal a call, it starts with a consultation. Like, say they want to sell their house or looking to buy a house, you'll come over to them. You'll let them know what you think they should list their price at using your experience, and it just makes so much of a difference if you use someone ultra experienced like Bart and Crystal as opposed to someone that does it a part time.
Let me give you a Dan
Dennis
Dennis
don't
guarantee.
know as much.
Let me give you a Dan Dennis guarantee, and this is the only time you'll really ever hear Tom tell you to go through the proper channels to do anything is when he's talking about buying or selling a house, and he's correct. It can be a nightmare for you if you don't get a and you remember our old bit that we
using your cousin will actually hinder you.
Thank you.
This is the actually opposite of my whole mantra, which is like, oh, use the guy who's going to give you a hookup. This will hurt you.
It will hurt you.
You will waste money.
In fact, they ripped off our old commercial from, I don't know how long we've been working with Bart. Bart, how long have we been working with you?
When was the first cruise?
Oh, God. I mean, we've done 6, so it's got to be like 6 years ago.
But have you seen the commercial now where the pizza guy drives up and he's like going to sell the car or going to sell the house? I mean, it's the old bit about like, why are you going to get the guy that doesn't know what he's doing? You want the people that they're depending on selling houses for a living. It's all that they do. So anyway, it's just funny to see.
What's funny about that, we had a situation this week where we're selling a house and the other agent who's representing the buyer came to us and said they give up. They didn't know what they were doing. And
they just said, I give up.
Yeah.
I like that.
Guy sent me a text and said, I don't know how to do this. I give up. I need your help. And we took over the other side, and we're going to close on it today, and slow and we're done. But it does happen.
Yeah. Because here's the thing: you assume like, hey, my sister-in-law or like the person I work with, they're a realtor. Like they'd be like, hold on, the person you work with is a realtor. Like they have a job, but why are they a realtor too? It's like people have these side realtor licenses.
What do you mean he's a realtor? He's a dishwasher at the Mediterranean Cafe.
They've done 5 houses in the past 5 years. Yeah. What experience is that giving you to the client? It's
but never underestimate a person that I do like a good I give up.
I do respect that.
I respect the good. I got nothing. I mean, but yeah, that's.
Well, Bart, if they go on the website, they get your cell phone. You and Crystal's cell phone are on there, right?
Yep, absolutely. Reach out to us anytime. We come out, do a quick consultation, figure out how to best prep your house for sale, where we want to price it, and come up with a plan on getting it sold the way you want.
There you go.
Well, Bart, we'll talk to you soon. We appreciate it, and we'll be seeing you.
You too. Happy birthday, Daniel.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That is Bart Merrick, one half of the Bart Merrick team. Yeah. Crystal Van is the other half. And trust me when I tell you, you will be very, very, very happy if you use them for your buying and selling home needs.
Yep, BartTheRealtor.com.
Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Butler is wandering around somewhere. Seth Petrozelli on news. Caesar the dog and my wife have left the building.
So, what was up with the scooping up your significant other's phone? I know it's not dumping
snooping
out.
on.
Snooping, yeah. So in the BDM group,
man, you do need glasses.
There was a thread where they were talking about snooping, and I thought you'd have a pretty strong opinion on this, Seth.
Oh, let's hear what's
There was a thread on the BDM group where a guy basically said
was asking if it was ever okay to snoop in your significant other's phone.
Right. And,
yes.
And Samantha and I
I kind of figured that from
I'm joking.
We talked a little bit about it, but like I know everybody's different. You always have to preface by saying that now because nobody ever wants to. Again, my birthday wish is that everybody just listen to each other and not argue.
Be cool, bro.
Be cool, bro. But with that said, I've never been a fan of that. I've always been a fan of, like, I have my phone, you have your phone, and hopefully I trust you enough to not go in there, and hopefully you trust me enough to not go in my phone. But I don't think that is... I feel like that is the minority.
Do your significant others have your passcodes or any of that information?
My wife didn't when we were dating, but it wasn't because I wouldn't give it to her. It was just it
never came up.
Again, see, and people would tell me, they'd be like, "What do you mean?" And I'd be like, "No, I'm being honest with you. Like, we don't. I have no reason." Well, you know Andrea very well.
Nah.
She gives no one any
very
reason.
Well.
Let yourself egg dick well.
Man, stop saying
well, you know what I mean.
How you say things.
But you know what I mean. Yeah. Like, you know her better than most listeners do.
Right.
And she would never give anybody any reason to ever doubt anything she ever says. She's just that kind of person.
Yeah.
So it just never was a thing with me.
Also, but the type of person that's not suspicious or
jealous,
or
none of that.
Jealous, or they're very logical, like me. So you guys
are
she wouldn't be looking in your phone.
Very much alike. No, she would not.
Now, if she ever found you, she definitely, done with you.
I think that's the thing, is that when you have a person that you've hitched your wagon to that will not snoop, it's a gift, right? It's a great thing, but if you do abuse it, understand that you do not get there's no going back. Right. You fuck up, you're done.
Correct. Yeah.
With her, I know it is. Like, if I fuck up, that is not I don't get we'll work through it. I don't get a counseling. You're gone.
I was watching my sons literally yesterday, and Crystal was like showing a house or doing something. And I was playing with them, and then they were like, wow, Daddy, when's Mommy getting home? Like, I don't know.
Hopefully not soon, because my girlfriend's over here. You guys like the girlfriend? Give me an old girl.
And they said, well, check your phone and see where she's at, so you could tell us when she's going to be here. Which told me that happens to be
on. I think that's fucked up. But
she's got the tracking on my phone.
People are different.
But yes, and people sometimes use that not because they think they're cheating or anything. It could be like a safety thing. So I don't necessarily.
He's a grown ass man, though.
Yeah, but if he gets in a fucking car accident or something, at least she knows where he's at.
But come on, you guys. Like if I just wandered off, I'm like a senile old man.
You'll walk in the woods.
I mean, Samantha on the cruise, I've seen her concerned about my safety.
For an hour, I drunkenly talked to you to try to get you to go back to your room. Which, by the way, I should have went back to my room as well because I was fucking blacked out.
She's but what you didn't understand is Tom was trying to get you to go back to his room.
If you check and she's by around Lake Eola Heights where my house is, just know that I'm have her there just for realtor reasons, and that's it.
Okay.
You checking it? Why is she's always at the jungle MMA and fitness. It's weird.
But by the way,
upstairs to be exact, in the closed off dojo.
It says she's in the dojo.
My wife could cheat on me till the end of time till I'm dead, and I'd never figure it out ever. Like she could easily,
I believe that. I honestly
easily hide it. Whatever she tells me, I'm like,
going to show a house.
Like anything. Like I wouldn't investigate it. I wouldn't look into it. I wouldn't look in her phone. I wouldn't. I'm so oblivious to everything. Like she came home with a hickey. I wouldn't notice it.
Tactical Hat's calling you out for saying my wife instead of Crystal.
No, okay.
It's just tactical. You're not helping.
I'm so oblivious to it. And it's just personality type, I think, because she will look at my phone, check my messages. I don't know if not much now, but she did. I had nothing to hide, so it was one of those things where I'm like, I don't care.
It all depends. I don't like to deal in absolutes. It depends on who you're dating. Like, it depends.
Yeah.
If you're dating a girl
Everybody's
that's like an
different.
Insta-type model that's out there a lot, I'd be like, oh, shit. Like, I kind of want to, like, know.
Yeah, but you went into that knowing that.
Oh, exactly, but I also would want to know if I would, not that I would break up with her if I found out she was cheating on me. I would just ride with it and be like, all right, she's fucking,
okay.
I'm going to do the same thing, man.
Okay.
You know, we have a BDM that's in prison, but he's on work release, and he's chiming in from the Twitch chat room. He says,
I love prison BDM.
Yeah, prison BDM is fantastic. He says, I've had a relationship end because she wanted to go through my phone. Handed her the phone and told her my passcode. Said she could go through it, but we're over if she did. That's a power move. When you go,
damn,
the code is this. Here's my phone. But if you go through it right now, I'm packing my things. Like that's what
I'm gonna do next.
That's elevated. Right? That's good. That's spicy.
The thing is, I think
I go hide in the bathroom and delete shit. Hang a second, I can take a shit real fast. Hang on.
Gotta bring your phone with you.
Okay, here you go. Next.
I can hear you deleting things because I hear.
No, I'm playing a game.
You hand it back to her as a factory reset.
I think it's not really about a trust thing. Okay, because if I look at it like I know Crystal pretty well at this point.
I think she trusts you.
And
I don't think there's
and I think she does trust me, and she did always to a certain extent. I must say. That was
many years ago.
But so I think it's more of a justification in their mind that they are on the right track or something, like they have maybe a suspicion pops in their head.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
Crystal does this all the time, where she'll think of a worst case scenario and then she'll convince herself that
she is very mentally pessimistic with like worst case scenario things. Yeah.
And then she'll think. I'm thinking about this because it's going to happen. I need to prepare myself, or need to make sure, or maybe I'm having some sort of
maybe there's a reason that popped in my head. Yeah.
Like maybe through she don't believe in supernatural mumbo jumbo, but she's like, maybe there's a reason I think this, and I'm trusting my intuition. I need to verify that it's not the case, and then she does that all the time. So things will she has in every car the thing she buys off the internet that you break the glass if you fall into a retention pond. Because she had a bad dream that she has this recurring nightmare that she's falling in the water with the kids, and then she has to get them out of their car seats.
Dream interpretation, that just means she wants to get fucked.
All right.
By the way, I'm like,
it's a hard stance there.
I'm like, all you do all day is come up with horrible worst case scenarios in your mind. She's like, I'm like, no way to live. Because me and Butler will die, because I think we think of the same. Nothing goes through our minds, and then we just go through life, not thinking anything good, bad, nothing. It's a better way to live, but a lot of downfalls, as you can tell.
What'd you point at me when you did that?
No listeners know. Normally, both of us.
Normally, though, when one of the persons has an inclination that the other person is doing something, it's usually a correct assumption, and you go through the phone. Normally, you will find what you're looking for.
If
Normally,
there's
you'll find
evidence,
something.
I don't know though. Some people are just paranoid like that and insecure,
true,
and then nobody's even doing anything wrong.
If that's the case, then yes. But if somebody is normally not, but then they get the vibe, usually there's a problem.
I think that's what most people do, though, right? Like, I think most people, once you're even having that discussion, that's not a good sign, right?
Yeah, no. Well, for me, I wouldn't want it. Sorry to interrupt you. I wouldn't want it because sometimes I have stuff in there that's like, I'll ask her sister gifts for her, or I'll ask a friend that
makes sense.
A friend about the thing.
Don't look at my phone. You'll ruin your surprise.
Oh, kind of.
I like that.
Don't look at my phone. I'm too good of a boy.
I like you trying to explain this one. Don't look at the text I sent your sister.
Don't say that.
If you saw the number of texts I have out spiraling to both men and women asking them what I should do for you, that's awesome. Man.
So I'll only spend my text time doing it.
Don't look at my phone. There's too many surprises.
Here's what I don't understand. I don't understand the emotion of getting...
Those tits are just feels I might want to get you a boob job later.
Yeah, wow, that's not a good answer.
That was a bad answer. Yeah, that was a really bad answer.
Scratch that from the list.
Yeah, take that one off.
But it's the person that gets incensed that their significant other doesn't trust them. It's like you take that as an insult, which I'm like, well, that's just their personality. They're not, it's like hard for them to trust. So it's like, whatever. If you're not hiding anything, it's kind of like back, everybody gets mad about video cameras and like the Patriot Act and the government looking at what they do. A lot of people are in the mindset of like, whatever, I'm not doing anything bad, so go ahead and look at it. Who gives a shit? And then other people are like, don't look at me. I don't want anybody to know what I'm doing, even if I'm not doing anything bad.
Right.
And that's just a way of thinking. And so it's not necessarily, it does not based on logic. It's irrational kind of like, why don't you want anybody looking at you? It's like, I don't want that.
Because it's my fucking business.
Yeah. And so there's
Can I search your car? No, you cannot.
It's two types of people.
That's always that's always how I've been because
it's the giving over the power to the government. Fuck that.
Well, I
agree. I don't like that either.
I can remember back in the day, you and I talking about this and disagreeing even on because I was like, well, you would be like, well, why don't you just let her go on your phone? And I'd be like, because I remember us doing, and we've evolved. I mean, everybody changes, but I remember I was like, well, it's my phone. She doesn't even need to be in there. And you'd be like, well, but if she doesn't need to be in there, if nothing's going on, then what the fuck does it matter? And I'd be like, well, it only matters because if nothing's going on, then you shouldn't be in there. And then you just start, then you just start going.
It's funny because then age kind of diluted that both of it because now
we just get lazy and Andrea's like, what's on your phone? And I was like, just put the pass in, get it yourself.
Right.
And then,
I don't care anymore.
And I realize, I don't take the stance of, why do you care if you got nothing to hide? I'm like, okay, you care because you care. That's part of your personality.
That's a slippery slope, though, when people say that. Why do you care if you have nothing to hide? It's like, you're giving up too many rights here.
Well,
next thing you know...
The government, I'm just talking like...
He's just going peer-to-peer, right? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But the fucked up thing about that is I see both sides, because even when early on, this is probably 10 years ago, when we'd have this debate, I agreed with you. Like you saying, well, if there's no reason, there's nothing to hide, then who cares? And then there's a part of me that goes, he's absolutely correct. But then there's this weird, I don't know if it's only child, I don't know if there's a level of selfishness there.
This is mine.
Yeah,
right.
there is.
No, I agree. Yeah.
There is maybe a selfishness there that I'm like, just purely the vibe is, well, this is mine. Like, I don't want anyone else to have that. I see only child tendencies in my daughter that I try to break. She already does that with her with her friends. Like they were going to come over and do something. She's like, well, I don't want them using my crayons. We're gonna
share.
We're gonna stamp that shit out. But she has nothing else to compare it to.
And
break all of her crayons.
And then
my God,
that's exactly what I did. And then I put them in the pillowcase with the hole in it.
Of course, she thinks that way because why wouldn't she? This is the way she grew up. It's not a flaw. Per se.
It's like as you mature, you start to understand why people think things, and that gives me some sort of strange solace. Like there's a calming effect that I have knowing. Like what you just said about well, of course she feels that way. She's an only child. Idiot. Why would she have tendencies of like Tommy and Max have a whole different dynamic?
They literally are forced to share everything.
Correct.
So of course they're going to be more apt to not look at something as mine as it's ours. But they grew up that way. They were forced to do it.
It's also not as hard to break Maisie out of those things as I remember. my mom almost had a stigma where she felt like she needed me to almost, she was so concerned about me being an only child or acting like a spoiled, like a shitbag kid, that she almost overcorrected me in the fact that she was obsessed with it. Like, I can remember the number of times, there were two things that my mom and dad obsessed over, and I think they did a darn good job of obsessing, not acting like a spoiled, rotten only child, and they did a good job because I've got other only children in my family, and they are not good humans. They listen, but at this point, I don't care. I'm 44. When you're old, you could just blurt things, right?
Old man blurts.
The other one was little man syndrome. My dad was huge on that, about like, you're not gonna act like,
because that really affects people.
Oh, it is. But my dad was like, you ain't gonna act like a little dickhead,
right?
You know, like he was real big on no, it doesn't matter your size. You are not gonna overcompensate. You're not gonna. No, it doesn't matter. You are who you are, and who the fuck cares? You know, get over it.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Let's do some news. And then
right.
We'll end with some dump it out and some emails.
I have to.
You know, this is only the second segment.
No.
Yeah. He means,
that.
He means for the end.
Gotcha.
We didn't have a plan today. So
we got more notes. Yeah,
we're just birthday in today. But I do while this is playing, because I run the risk sometimes of not playing the full Seth Petrozelli theme song. I'm going to play this, but I have to queue up a voicemail. Somebody has a question about the theme, so here we go, courtesy of Pariah Mike.
He laid out Kimbo with an attack, but the Russian won't call him back, and we all forgot about that fight. Just more proof alone you're gonna die. From fighting in the UFC to reading news to you and me, you could say he wears a lot of hats, but we'll just focus on his eyes. So hippo people, get on your hooves and put them together for you know who. As if you narcs don't have a clue. It's Seth Petrozelli with your douche bro news. It's Seth Petrozelli with your douche bro news.
Bro News.
News today brought to you by Gringos Locos. Many locations. There's the original downtown location, the Milk District location.
Yes. Sodo on Michigan.
The Michigan one.
UCF
location. And they are
tune in the Amway when they get that back up and running, right? Is that when a...
I don't know.
No one knows yet. No one really knows.
Anyone even doing anything in there during the time that nothing's going on?
Probably not.
Upgrades? I mean, can you go there with a skateboard and just do some tricks on the old magic
floor?
To
break in. That would be fun to break in.
It would be fun.
Down. Just have the whole place to yourself.
Talk about a place that
would be fun.
You want to hide in as a kid.
Yeah.
You find all the switches. You do that thing where you...
Yeah, I've been up on the rafters up atop and stuff. Like you could take an elevator all the way up to
the catwalk.
The catwalks up there, and there's a whole spider web of things up there.
Some fun things up there.
Do a little turn on the catwalk.
I think the only thing I'd want to do, I'd want to go to the dead center of the catwalk and then just pee right off the top. A big yellow vitamin C pee-pee. A big one. A big Matt Mormon.
There's something about pissing.
Or not Matt Mormon. Yeah, it was Matt Mormon, right? Or no, who was the guy that we had in here? The wrestler.
Matt Morgan?
Matt Morgan. Not Matt Mormon.
Long with hair? Matt Mormon.
Matt Mormon. He's like, I don't pee everywhere. Matt Morgan, remember?
Big old wrestler.
Coca-Cola pee.
Man, a bright yellow-brown Coca-Cola pee.
Side note, Pariah Mike and his wife Lisa will be on Semantics this week.
All right.
Cool.
News?
Yeah, news.
I thought you said you had a thing about the theme. I thought you said
voicemail.
See?
Before with that theme.
I'll remind you about
that moonshine got him.
Who are the people that continuously post like fake shit and misinformation and stuff on Facebook, get called out, but then just keep doing it.
Yeah, I had a guy.
Why?
I had a guy do that. He put up the Bernie Sanders picture of them arresting him, and they're like, Bernie Sanders was arrested in 1960, I think he said 63, for throwing eggs at black people. That never happened. And I said that. I go, that's not a reality. He was arrested for actually being at a protest. It was in 64, and he didn't throw eggs at black people. And the guy was like, okay. And then he just left it up. And then it was like, how long will he leave it
There's
up?
one lady that continuously, literally, I don't know, 10 times a day, shares something that's like 20 years old, 10 years old, and I correct her about it. And she doesn't respond. She just leaves it up. Like, she doesn't even respond.
Is that what you're talking about? Like, and then they leave it.
Yeah, but not only that, but then like I can understand,
or like it's like a completely false information,
because
and I'm like,
because they feel like it should have happened or it could have happened or they wanted it to happen.
Yeah, but once you're corrected,
yeah, that's the thing. Like that's where I'm like dumbfounded.
I don't know
because I understand people just see something and they repost it.
They share it without looking into it.
It's nothing to them, and I see it a lot because I had this thing where I'm like, I'm not gonna unfollow any of these people. Yeah, and some it's hard, but believe me, it's real hard. That like where I do want to unfollow because I'm like, God damn, like this person's a piece of shit. But I leave it because I'm like, well, this is the representation of what is reality, and I want to look at it to show. They remind me that they're dumb, ignorant people, but they just keep posting the same shit, and people say this is wrong and inaccurate. They'll show the proof,
but they leave it up,
and then they don't care if it's real. Like they don't care if it's their agenda, and that's it.
Yeah, but that's weird.
Yeah, like if you even,
I agree,
and I'll like sometimes I'll even look at the comments, and the person will acknowledge like, oh yeah, okay, this isn't true. Like they'll acknowledge it's not real, leave it up, and then do it again later. And I'm like, what is it? Are you just really dumb? I don't know.
On the thread,
I know it's that, but
on the thread I'm talking about, that's what the guy did. Like I found the article saying like this is false,
fake,
and I was like, you know, and I'm not, and I wasn't, and I even said, I'm like, look, I'm not trying to make this political, but if you're going to share stuff like this, at least make sure it's accurate because you know, like that's kind of what we should do, I think. And the guy gave me a thumbs up and said, "Yep, thank you," and then.
And I'm not
just left.
Maybe it was a sarcastic. Yeah, right. Thanks. That's a bullshit.
Well, no, I linked him back to like an accredited like an AP or Reuters article saying that this particular fault to meme is running rampant on the interwebs, and I just linked him back saying, yeah, this is wrong.
And regardless of politics, it happens on both sides.
It's not about politics; it's about misinformation.
Yeah. So, but I like how do you then when you go to post the second after you've been corrected. Seemingly, I'll keep track of like this person just constantly posts shit, and then I'll see him post it again. I'm like, how are you still doing it? Like it didn't dawn on you. Like, hey, I know
I should look into this before I share it this time.
The past 5 times I've been shamed by people, and then I acknowledge that it was wrong. Still left it up, but then I'm going to do it again. Like what? How?
It's the acknowledge. If you didn't, we'd be okay. In my eyes, you would be okay if you didn't acknowledge me. Okay, follow me here. Or if you messaged me and said, fuck you, you liberal piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
Then I'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
But you don't. You look at me and you go, hey, Dan, thanks for correcting my misinformation. I still believe it.
Right.
And that doesn't fly.
Yeah, that doesn't.
You telling me to eat shit, that flies because that's real.
And maybe,
what you're doing, though, is not real.
Doesn't make sense.
Maybe we've gotten to a point where they just... But again, I see them in their posts, like comment.
Maybe they use the tool differently than you do. Like I think that's what it is. I think the disconnect is how you use the tool.
Is it like Russian trolls, or are they just like it doesn't matter if it's real? This is the way I want it to be. So I just want to keep posting.
I think so.
They just get off on creating confusion and fun. Like I don't know, it's fun to them to do stuff like that.
No, like the old pops and memas, they don't even think that way. They literally believe this shit and they share it. And then even when they're corrected, either they don't say anything at all, or they're just like, okay, but then don't delete it, and then continue to share. It's just
our good friend Eric Pabon, who we love. Buy some of his art, by the way, because he's amazing and a good man. But he says people are hardwired not to change beliefs, even when confronted with evidence.
That's true.
It is. It's kind of sad, too. Because you know one of the best things about being able, like,
religion's obvious.
There was a certain level of power that I remember I felt like I acquired as a young man. Like, I want to say middle school age, where I realized, you know what's cool about being wrong? You learn something. I'm being serious. Like, I remember And then I remember getting this comfortability with telling people, yeah, I got that wrong. When you're comfortable being wrong, you learn a shit ton. I mean, you just start gathering knowledge like crazy.
Yeah.
And it seems like this doesn't seem like that to me.
Juan mentioned it earlier in the feed up there. He said, "You think this is bad now? Wait till you see all these deep fakes that are going to be coming out later on." Where it's like you're looking at like something, Obama or whoever
100% T-Paws and Meemaws are sharing Photoshop shit all day, every day, and they believe it 100%. They don't even know what Photoshop is.
Yeah, it happens with. I've seen people's grandparents. They share bullshit email forwards and stuff and then they believe it. Although seemingly getting better with. But God, I don't know what it is. It's
a nightmare.
That'll be us in like 30 years. So
yeah. Well,
doing
something 30. I'll be there in 15. The magnet's pulling hard because we talked about Amway, we talked about Gringos, we talked about in the Twitch chat room, and even here we talked about having a friend that works at the Amway, and it just so happens that the friend that works at the Amway is the guy that had the question about Seth's theme song by Pariah Mike. So there is. Here it is.
What up, T&D gang? I love the 99 MRI's theme song for Seth when he does the news, and I love all the little references in there, like NARPs and Hippo and Douche Bro and all that stuff. But there's one lyric I can't understand. It goes, he laid out Kimbo with an attack, and then what does they say after? Because it sounds like he laid out Kimbo with an attack, but production won't call him back.
Play it again.
I guess I don't really get that reference. I don't really know what the word is. But if you guys can clear that up for me, that would be great.
I honestly don't know either.
Keep eating that ass, Seth. Love you. Bye.
There you go.
I asked this probably 4 months ago.
Oh, okay.
But the Russian won't call him back. The Russian, which is bullshit because I broke up with her.
Sure you did.
I mean, I did. She's the one that was crying and said she loved me. And
do you think that
she loved you?
She said that.
Fake news.
But you were like that. That's when you weren't you going.
No, I'm saying that she loved you. That's fake.
Oh yeah. No, I think she. Really
you keep a text of her saying "I love you" on your phone. Man, if I were your girlfriend, I'd go through your phone.
I keep the voicemail of her crying, and it sustains me. I'm like, yes, the power.
I gotta go.
Sam and I were triggered on that one. I was rattled on that one.
Yeah.
Didn't you eat her ass too much, the Russian?
No.
Or did
you ate her ass?
You ate her ass, but then we talked about it, and didn't she hear us talking about you eating ass, and then it caused a problem, right?
No.
Oh yeah. She's like she didn't want me to be talking.
I don't like it when little.
She was
little
really
man
upset about that.
Little man and Rachel Maddow talk about you eat ass. I do not like.
Yeah, she was not happy with that at all. That's why Tracy's so great because she doesn't give a shit what I talk about. She was this close to letting me post a picture of her in the dog crate the other day, and I didn't.
Rewind.
Yeah, you might want to. You might want to play that part again because I do think that it might be that Joe Rogan won't call you back.
Oh, maybe Joe. You guys told me it was the Russian.
Hold on.
I don't even know.
I asked Daniel, and he's like, it's the
Daniel
Russian.
No. Here's what you did.
Told me.
Here's what you did. You said, "Is it the Russian won't call you back?" And I don't listen to anything, and I don't care about anything. And I'm like,
No, bullshit. That's not what
Tom knows. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Well, that makes you feel better.
Here, I'll play it.
Everyone else is like, yeah, I think it is the Joe Rogan. Pretty sure it's Joe Rogan. I think it is too.
Can I fast forward it a little bit? Let's see. I don't think I can.
Ah, damn it.
Oh, really?
No, because it's on this stupid trigger button thing. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Oh.
It does say the Russian. It's Russian. Now we're getting everyone saying it's Russian.
See? Okay. I was told it was a Russian.
Well, either way, neither one of them are calling you back, so...
Okay, I got it.
Both are accurate.
Joe Rogan gave me the thumbs up this weekend. To give me a wave, actually.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's Russian.
It's the Russian. Yeah, it's the Russian.
Yeah. There it is. So he gave you the old wave. It used to be the hi, hello.
And it wasn't even going. It wasn't even. Well, we were locked down. We couldn't go see anybody. He was behind a glass wall.
Yeah. That's called the $100 million. I have no idea who you are.
Exactly.
$100 million to make you forget a lot of people that bothers you.
It's funny who you'll forget when you have your Spotify glasses on.
Oh man, if someone gave me $100 million,
oh my god,
I wouldn't.
I'd forget my wife. I'd be like, I'm my daughter. I'd be like, I don't know. Wait, somebody.
You better give me $100 raise.
I feel like I'd wake up
doing this shit
with $100 million. I'd wake up and I'd be like, it'd be like me in the Matrix. It'd be like a white room and it's just me and money everywhere. And I'm like, it's just me and my egg penis. I got no other.
You'd have to do it. You're getting paid to do the podcast.
I can't hear that anymore today.
It's the grossest thing.
God damn it.
They get the pulse of
all the things.
The thing is, Samantha, because of your reaction,
it makes me want to vomit.
It's going to make me
really?
Daniel do more.
We talk about,
yeah, egg penis makes me want to vomit.
Hey, do you remember the song Weird Science?
Oh, of course.
Weird
I love the movie.
Egg penis.
No.
It's for those of you who don't know the joke, it's
round and smooth without any hair.
Maybe we shouldn't even explain it. Explain it. Let's do the news.
Egg penis.
I was going to explain it. Better than no one knows.
Yeah.
Or the people that do, they...
Which came first, the penis or the egg? First I ate the penis, and then I ate his leg.
First story. What do we got?
All right, guys. First story is
Beastie Boys.
A story. It's a story about a YouTuber who placed her adopted autistic son from China with a new family.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
After, you guys talk about this already?
No. I just read it.
Yeah, after making content with him for years. Micah Stauffer built her YouTube following partly by sharing every step of her journey to adopt a toddler from China. This was last week, revealed why he'd gone missing from her videos. She has hundreds of thousands of followers who she has shared her family's experience with of adopting a toddler from China. Announced on Tuesday that she and her husband had permanently placed their child with another family after unspecified behavioral issues. So she pretty much monetized this poor autistic kid from China, talking about before she got him, as she got him,
and specifically wanted a quote-unquote special needs child.
Yeah, and
went into it.
Not
like she didn't know that the kid had.
I have some friends that have gone into the adoption process saying basically the same thing because they know how to handle special needs children. They are in a position where they can provide a great life for one, and they have opened their home, and that's you know what I mean. Like there are families that do that because they're like, we're equipped, we know how to do this, and we can elevate this kid's life. Okay, so that was the bill of goods we were sold, right?
Well, the bill of goods was that they had, I believe, 2 children of their own.
Yeah, she has 2 children of their own. Yes.
They
special needs?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So they're not familiar with taking care of a special needs child at all. But for whatever reason, wanted specifically to quote help a special needs child, so they adopted one.
Gotcha.
And
they're
gained money.
2 special needs. I just want a little bit.
Yeah, just a sprinkle.
I'm looking
Can
for.
I get a? It's like when I go to Planet Smoothie, not the Chocolate Elvis Light.
Too much chocolate.
She spent. I'll read the rest. She spent years sharing intimate details of her son Huxley's life on a monetized channel.
Oh, I love that name.
800,000. Yeah,
Huxley. That's cool. A great name.
Well, yeah, that was another thing is people were ragging on her for giving a Chinese person named Huxley.
American hipster name.
American hipster. Yeah, they got her for that too.
Well, if she would have named it a traditional Chinese name, they would have been mad about that too.
Exactly.
Yeah, then you're
that was my point, kind of, because you can't freaking please anyone.
Jeez Louise.
Even before her family adopted Huxley in 2017, Micah had made his story a key theme on her channel, which had exploded in popularity and landed her several high-profile sponsorships. She has also positioned herself as an advocate for international adoption in several national news outlets. These facts, coupled with a long simmering debate about rights of children on social media, has led to an outcry against the couple and their decision to publicize and monetize their lives.
No, she is fucked.
She basically it's like when you get a dog and you give it to back to the pound. It's ridiculous.
It's like that times 10.
I gotta say something. I've never understood that, and I've seen people do that, and I've never been able to saddle that one in my brain. Even in times of shit happening, but I know people. We worked with a guy that did that.
Never give it back to the pound. You just drive to the woods and let it go. And then you're like, I don't know, it ran away.
It just doesn't. Right? It doesn't.
And then you also just walk into the woods.
It doesn't compute with me, the whole I can't take care of this dog anymore thing. I saw it a little bit even on social media during the beginning of we're still in it, people are suffering, but in the beginning of COVID, I saw people saying, look, I've been laid off. I can't make my rent. I can't take care of this dog. It's a bigger dog. It need I saw some of that on my own feed.
That's terrible.
It doesn't compute in my brain, though, because I've never had to deal with that. I would imagine that some of those people are genuinely to a point where they don't think that they can provide, correctly for their animal, right?
Well, here's the thing that's infuriating, right? This couple, I don't want to say she, because
I don't mean to compare dog with child, but you know what I mean.
They both went out of their way.
I feel like she was the one
to get a special needs child, which clearly seems like they didn't do a lot of research. And then they gave the child, they quote, rehome the child. Well, what if your birth child was special needs? Who are you going to give the kid to? You going to just put it up for adoption? You know what I mean? You went out of your way for this. Yeah. Now, what if your birth child was special needs? Would you also do the same thing?
Then you're forced to keep it.
No, you're not. You can give them up for adoption.
I like what you're saying, man.
If you got it from the pound, then people are like, I'm just making a joke.
It's infuriating because they made a shit ton of money off of this.
People are pieces of shit.
Yeah, they made a shit ton of money off of this to document it, and then just rehomed the child. Which, by the way, good for the kid because it's probably in a way better fucking household.
Can you rename the child at that point?
Yeah, it's Zing Zang. They named him.
No, this guy.
I gotta go.
Turn off his fucking mic.
Why am I still here? I should have left the first one.
You can't say that.
No, which I'm not even.
I don't think so.
You know what? You know why that's not racist? Because you're a fucking idiot. That's not even like a name.
It's stereotypical Chinese. The first thing that popped into my head, there was no stoppage of whatever came out of my mouth.
And you're like, yeah, they named it Pee Pee Poo Poo. You're like, yeah, you're talking like a fucking idiot baby.
So I was gonna. She put a message on her YouTube channel.
I'll get it.
Where she had explained it.
Oh, I didn't see that in the article.
Oh, my wife was pissed off at this lady.
Oh, she was mad.
Well, who wouldn't be?
Yeah, everybody was, and she's taking.
I hope she loses all. She has like 800. She did have 800,000 followers and like millions and millions of views on that stuff.
I think she lost her sponsors.
All the sponsors.
Yeah. Like this is, and I wonder. She had to have known.
Okay, hold on.
That this was going to create an insane amount of backlash.
You would think.
I didn't know of this person, and then when Crystal first told me the story, I assumed that she just adopted the baby, and then behind the scenes she decided it was too much for her. I didn't realize she made it a part of her YouTube channel. That's even worse.
Oh, the fact that he monetized it and put it part of YouTube.
How old was the child when they quote unquote rehomed?
How long was the child in her custody? How long was the child in her care? Because I'm looking at
guys, I only get paid so much to do so much research. So
I'm looking at her page, and the second video she has is just basically a video of her detailing her diet, where she's wearing a skimpy bikini. So if you just want me to pass judgment on this page, automatically you can tell that this page is more about her and less about being a mom or the child or anything, right?
Well,
I mean, then you can kind of see
unless
that.
you removed those. Okay,
videos. So they got Huxley at 2.5 years old. That's when they got her.
Oh, that's so tragic. Dude.
2.5. Trying to see if it says when they
got rid of him at 2.25.
Well, they adopted him in 2017, and it's 2020.
Okay, so he's been gone for months. Oh, wow. Okay, I understand it now. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the child was living with him for years. That's enough to form a bond and then be confused.
Oh, especially during that time, the 2, 3, 4.
And the child was severely
Sigmund Freud, but I know it's going to
he has level 3 autism and sensory processing disorder.
So,
poor dude.
Was it it had to have been a case where this was just too much for them to handle, and then they just gave up.
Fucking research before you go out of your way to, you know what I'm saying?
Also,
that's what bothers me.
Guess what? Sometimes life is too much for fucking you to handle. You just got to do it, because that's what life is about.
Yeah.
It's like,
tell that to all single moms that are working multiple jobs and then caring for a kid and putting a kid through school and everything alone.
I mean, you could give up on your priorities and your responsibilities, but that makes you a piece of shit.
Oh,
that's it. And then there it is.
Here's her explaining it. I got that video.
YouTuber Micah Stauffer is facing backlash after revealing her adopted autistic son is now living with a new family.
The last couple months have been the hardest thing I could have ever imagined.
The influencer is joined by husband James Stauffer as she tells her over 700,000 YouTube subscribers that their adopted son Huxley is no longer living with them. The couple struggles to hold back tears as they candidly detail their decision to rehome the toddler.
With international adoption, sometimes there's unknowns and things that are not transparent on files and things like that. And once Huxley came home, there was a lot more special needs that we weren't aware of.
He was 2 special needs.
Piece of shit.
I just wanted a little bit of special needs.
I just wanted enough
for the novelty for my YouTube channel.
I just wanted
fucking garbage human.
Just enough for people to care more about my family, but not enough to make it difficult.
Yeah. I just want I want them to be good at math and a little unemotional.
It's infuriating. infuriating.
They made us just enough money.
Can you guys just give me the standard? I mean, I didn't know.
Right.
Fuck you,
I want
trash person.
Low spectrum.
Just a sprinkle. Like, what the? Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck your stupid name. Michael.
Here's what I find fascinating. So
that's really bad.
Double fuck.
So people don't realize, like, once you're at this level of YouTube, like you can make multi-millions. I don't know what they made, but or what they make, but I assume it's very high salary.
Do the math.
This, right?
700 and when I was looking at 702,000 subscribers.
So let's just say at the minimal, they're making between 500 and 700 grand a year. Probably that's low. It's probably more. It's probably into the millions, but
that's not including sponsors.
Yeah. So you're making 500K. So you've got money, right? And you had to have had the conversation like, hey, this is not going to look good if we don't have this baby anymore.
No, because they're spinning it as it's better for him because we couldn't handle it, and we want him to have a better life,
in a better spot.
Which is true.
I want to be fair with that because
they went into this being dickheads.
Why not hire a professional? You have the money. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I was thinking. Why don't you hire an
Bring in a certified pro, a specialist that deals with severe autism, and then have them come to your house every day and help you. Yes, it's going to be expensive, but you got the money.
Right. And then it'll be cheaper than losing all your sponsors and getting zero money.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a dad now. You're a dad now, and I would go through any length and exhaust all of my income to keep my daughter with me. And if you were looking at that particular kid as a family member, you would probably do the same, right?
That's just it. They're not. That's not their blood.
Kind of going along with what you're saying. Now, Rich in our Twitch chat room, just to make sure we're being fair, he kind of echoed what Sam's saying. He said, I think it's kind of responsible for them to step up and admit that they couldn't handle it. And then he goes on to say, it's a shitty situation for sure, but I would be concerned with the alternative.
Well, you could do what Tom said, which would probably be the right way to do it.
Now,
at least try
it. See through your bullshit, and you just adopted this kid to get fucking sponsors and likes on fucking social media.
We could be happy that he's in a better spot and still hate them.
You're not giving us any reason to think that you didn't do that because you didn't at least try Tom's thing and exhaust it, right? At least try it for a year or 6 months.
I agree if you don't have that much money and then you have
if you literally do not have the means.
Yeah, you don't have the means. You adopted a severely autistic kid. You realize, like, I can't provide the amount of care that this kid needs, like the special treatment and the special schooling and the special programs. You know, like, I can't provide it, so maybe this family can. That's a different story.
Right.
When you have the means, you're like, well, you could provide.
You just don't want to.
What family did you give it to? A family that's richer than you, or that just has experience? Like, you could bring in a professional. Now they're going to be $1,000 a day or whatever it is, but you're not going to be able to buy fresh white linens anymore.
Christine is making a point, saying they didn't step up. They simply removed pictures of him and didn't admit to the issues. Only when they were called out did they make a statement.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's the thing that I think is bad because the transparency level changed. If you'd kept the level of transparency with the child the same, and you had documented it via YouTube and said we're having difficulty, I'm not doing good enough as a dad.
Dude, if they would have done that, they probably would have had someone for free offer help. To help them with this child. You understand what I'm saying?
But they changed. So the reason that we feel this way is your level of transparency changed when you just pulled pictures, and then you didn't say anything, and then we find out months later that the kid's gone.
It's like if you
handled it at the very best. You handled it horribly at the best.
You turned on Friday Free Show, and then no more fish tank. We never said anything.
It went bad.
Where's the fish cam? Where's the fish? And we just
I feel like a lot of people thought about that with Lee when they didn't see him the next day.
He was a little more special needs than I wanted in here. I wanted somebody funny.
I wanted more laughs, but that really got sad.
Hey, I'll give you a real update. Lee sent Tom and I an apology letter, and I replied back to him. And so he sent us an apology letter for the way that everything went down, and he's in England now, and I wish him the best. Apology accepted. I'm not going to go into details because that's his business, but I did appreciate the fact that after some time and some air, that he reached out hat in hand, and he basically said that that it was a bad decision on his part, and it didn't work out right.
Oh, he sent one to me saying to steal stuff for me.
I believe that.
We did.
Okay, I know you're still in there.
We lost all of our pieces from tent. We had to buy a goddamn new tent because I lost track of who the fuck I gave the shit to.
I love you, son. You're such a dick.
Anyway, that's these people are trash. All right. Next.
Pee Sprinkles checks in to say, I care more about the fish than Lee.
Come on.
All right. Well, hey, we're airing it out today. It's a
all right. So
happy show.
Is it?
Happy birthday.
We just ranted about this couple for forever.
Well,
okay,
no, I like stuff. I love stuff like that. It's super interesting to see, call people out for being shitbags.
I can't. Okay, going back.
Oh, you fired him up again, Sam.
Seth, go ahead and tell us who died this week.
Regardless about how horrible it is, and we all I think everybody's on the same page. And yeah, I mean, yes, maybe you could say well, maybe they did the right thing if they couldn't provide the best care.
They just,
but our argument is that you could pay for the best care anyway. So, but I'm just dumbfounded that they wouldn't have thought that this would create a backlash.
They're fucking dodos.
But they know social media. They know the internet. They are YouTubers. They know they interact with people all the time. They know trolls. They know the
what about the other couple that we talked about?
Maybe it was that bad where they didn't care. They're like, we know it's going to be bad. We're still lose everything. It's that bad.
This kid must have been
this kid was pissing in our mouths.
Yeah, I mean they just sound lazy to me, or just they did this for the reasons that Samantha's talking about. But what's funny about this too is that this isn't the first time that we've had YouTubers that go on there that do something shady, and then other YouTubers call them out and fuck them over. Remember that? What was it? Daddy of 5 or Mommy? Yeah. Remember those guys? And then they basically
shaming their children,
basically abused physically. Well, I won't say physically, but at least mentally by screaming and just going crazy on their kids.
They would shit in the corner and be like, "What the fuck did you do?"
Yeah, they were fucking with them just to fuck with their kids' brains.
There is a lot of idiots that don't there's oh, this went viral, just do more of this, and then go too far.
We can be rich if we just fuck up our kids on camera.
Is the last video they put out, did it get as many hits? Because that's interesting. Will this not even affect them because the world is a shithole? It doesn't even matter. You get a bunch of backlash and then just keep going, nothing matters.
It's them drowning the kid.
Come on.
Here's the thing about it. The lady, what is her name? Micah Stuffer, her videos, he'd already been gone, so they don't really address it. So
because they said that he just mysteriously just started disappearing from their YouTube videos.
Yeah,
that's why people are questioning
saying after this backlash.
Yeah, what is her next video?
Oh, they're fine. Yeah, 250,000.
Everyone is saying,
Jesus Christ,
Seth fucked it up for everyone. The show was funny until this.
What?
Your goddamn news,
the show
Seth.
was good until Seth's segment because it's too heavy. Everybody wants to just laugh.
If you look at her, she put out a video 3 weeks ago. It's got 500,000 views, so she's okay. I mean, everything seems...
Everybody's like, that baby was annoying.
Seems pretty fine.
Because you do have the aspect of people will hate watch you. That used to happen back in the day where
it still happens.
Yeah, I'm saying back in the political
Rush
radio.
Limbaugh used to be the guy.
Half his listeners were Democrats that we used to hate listen to him, and I never understood
You listen for confirmation bias, and then sometimes you'd listen just to become infuriated while you worked your day job.
So now,
I'm with you. I don't get it.
This family's villainized, and are people just watching because they're look at to talk shit or whatever? Because you're right. It's not like she had all these views, and then all of a sudden it went down to 5,000. Still got the same views. So what is it? Does it not matter what you do? Now I'm sure a lot of her sponsors don't want anything to do with her, but
with enough time, I don't think it'll matter.
Maybe.
It'll just the time people forget everything.
I really believe
shortest attention spans. I swear.
I mean, and does she deserve to be canceled and never work again because of what she did? Look, I'm not in it. I can only give you my opinion of what I see on the surface, and I don't like what I see. But then sometimes, that's not enough for people. We just gave our opinion. You can't just say, oh, she's a bad mom. Maybe they got in over their head and they fucked this all up. But there are other people that look at that and be like, well, now we obviously have to kill her.
Well,
you know what I mean? It's funny how we all go to these weird extremes.
Yeah. Here's the interesting thing about, trying to cancel her. You can't because she just puts a YouTube channel like
Correct.
it's her own thing. So yeah, if she worked
Well, she'll lose sponsors.
Yes, but if she worked for a network or whatever, she'd definitely be fired the next day. But she doesn't, and that's an interesting thing where she's a YouTuber. So yeah, she put out her next video.
She'll lose sponsors and she'll be trolled to no end.
I mean, but maybe that
not.
doesn't affect her bottom line that much. You know, like maybe this whole controversy, because this is the new world. Like it used to be, you do something that the world doesn't like, and whoever you work for will fire you.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, they can't get fired. No one's stopping her from putting out stuff. So like people are still watching it.
Speaking of, did you guys see Akeem Wood's video that he posted on social media?
No.
You didn't see that? Where he's like, are you racist? Are you mad? And you want to post things on social media? And he's like, guess what? I'm unemployed. They can't fire me. Just Venmo me $10.
He'll say anything you want. If you want to be homophobic or racist, he'll say it for you.
It's great.
And he's gay and black, so it's totally cool.
That's fine.
Get away with it.
We'll have Akeem.
We're talking to him Monday.
Yeah. And plus he had. Here's the big teaser. Apparently he got hacked. And somebody
getting blackmailed
snagged some of his old dick pics.
They're trying to extort him.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that too.
I like that. They picked the wrong victim for extortion. The poorest orphan. Who also doesn't give a shit about anything.
Or they picked the best because he's just like, I've been talking to him on
not
social.
to get money.
I was just texting him the other night and he was like, man, this is awesome. He's like, the guy doesn't realize that without doing shows and not going anywhere, I have a lack of content, and now you're writing content for me. He just got his joke pad out as a stand-up, and he's just, I'll just crank all this shit out. This is great shit to write about.
All right, what's the next story?
All right, next one is, I don't know, there's lots of bad things going on.
Oh, my God, Seth.
Here's some more. Hurricane season has just begun, but we've already seen many unusual things happen. 3 named storms have already formed in the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. Cristobal was the earliest sea storm on record, and its remnants are now being tracked through Wisconsin, which I had to fly through last week. It sucked. Bertha made landfall an hour after it formed, which was extremely fast, and all 3 storms so far in the season have brought impacts to the U.S. So it's supposed to be an extremely busy hurricane season.
Okay.
Here,
sorry guys, I just clicked off it.
We knew when we hired you can't read it.
Yeah. No, I keep looking and
I kind of identify with this Micah lady now. And I want to find
give Seth back.
Yeah, I want to find a show that can just.
Can we give you the?
You might be better suited for another show. I don't think I'm cut out for this.
God damn it, guys! Listen, a busy start to the hurricane season doesn't always guarantee conditions will remain that way. Historically, Atlantic tropical cyclone activity through June 30th
he's trying to go fast.
Has had very relationship with
Seth was too hard to take care of. It's we're gonna give him away.
I wanted my MMA guy, which is a sprinkling of CTE, buddy. CTE. Sorry,
and PTSD.
I'll remind you of my brain dead disease. There you go.
So yes, it's going to be an active hurricane season, but here's the problem: every single year, for as long as I can remember, every news station always tell me this year it's going to be an
spicy.
It's always
so when you've been told that every single year, when it is, you're like, okay, you told me that every year. So it's almost the boy who cried wolf. It's like, am I supposed to believe you because that's all you tell me?
Right.
And then some years
it's like Mike from Mike's Weather Page said, it's all hype.
Yeah.
We get it. We get hurricanes every fucking year.
We're gonna have
just get prepared, right?
Raise your hand if you have a hurricane preparedness kit in your home.
Wait, what do you got, Butler? You got candy. That's it.
He's got a buttload. He's got a whole bag labeled True Leave.
I have some
canned goods. I got gas.
You have cats that you'll eat.
If come down to it, I'll eat the cats. Yeah. If I ran out.
Again, I have to go, and I don't know why I haven't.
Yeah, my wife makes me have like batteries. I have 2 lanterns, 2 mag lights.
I'm buying a generator this weekend.
No, really?
You know what my mom got that I want to get? I want to get that deal where you get the generator that they just wire into your panel. You did that too, right? I need to do that.
Yeah. You can plug it into the side of your house.
I should get some supplies.
I don't get it.
They got flashlights and batteries.
You know, I think with everybody, you know, it's not a bad idea. Just so you don't have to worry about it. Just snag some batteries, snag a flashlight.
What I like to do is I like to wait until the first hurricane pops up and we're in the cone, and then I'm like, oh shit, I didn't prepare. Then I go to the store and everything's sold out.
Right, because everybody else did the same thing. Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, this has happened every single year. And then I go back to my house, and then it doesn't hit us, and I'm like, see, then it reinforces me not to prepare.
Okay, I like that.
Just like last year,
you never prepare for anything.
No,
so I don't expect you to prepare for.
But then when it doesn't hit us, like Dorian last year, I'm like, didn't prepare.
This is what I do.
That's a W for Tom Van.
I won it.
This is what I do. My wife will be like, did you get the batteries we need for the flashlights? And I was like, I told our special needs adopted kid to do it.
The reason I chose that story is because it's been raining like literally every single day.
Yeah.
And my turtle pond is sad.
How's
Save
Professor
the turtles.
Green?
Yeah.
Did he die?
Honestly, I was extremely sad for the past
if one of them's
days.
special, you should just send it back.
Did he pass?
So shrimp. Shrimp is my African mud turtle.
That's a turd, right?
He was found floating upside down the same morning as Leo went missing. Leo's gone, completely gone. No clue where he is.
Dude, you
the
know
turtle
what?
pond filled up a little bit.
This is the saddest news ever.
And
this is my birthday show.
Yeah,
and
this is birthday show.
He's talking about his family members dying.
And Professor Green is the only one that's still there alive. Like, look, like
he's
so long. And the past 4 days, he's like looking his. I see him every morning.
Where's his friends?
They don't act like that. No, there's no chance of him even knowing that they're dead.
No, he definitely feels.
So is your mud turtle not like a water turtle? Did it just like drown?
No. It used to bask and it buried itself in the corner, kind of up out of the water sometimes.
Did you throw him away, or did you?
I buried him.
You buried him?
Yeah, I buried him.
Were you sure he was
I said some turtle words.
Did you whack the shell a couple times to say, wake up?
He was stiff and bloated. It was,
he's got to clean out the shell and soak in
Happy
bleach.
Friday, everybody!
It happened just one night, or then that morning, the turtle was gone and he was dead. So I feel like something.
You don't think Tracy killed him, did you?
No. Either some sort of burglar raccoon broke in and grabbed Leo and then scared shrimp.
That's racist.
Oh, interesting.
Hold on. Medium prisoner said, "I'm in prison, and this segment is the worst part of my day."
I'm sorry. It's my life. How do you think I feel?
What was the movie where the Sharon Stone boiled the pet rabbit of the
Fatal
guy?
Attraction?
Fatal Attraction.
Could it be a Fatal Attraction scenario where she was like, "I've had it with these turtles"?
You just gave me an excuse to go through her phone.
God
Legit,
damn it.
I'm going through her phone now.
He loves Professor Green.
That wasn't
more
Sharon
than me.
Stone.
I'll kill this motherfucker.
Fatal Attraction wasn't Sharon Stone, by the way.
Was it?
Basic Instinct.
Oh, yeah, it was. Fatal Attraction was...
what's her name?
Kim Basinger?
No. The girl from the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where she strips, right?
That's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Bridget Nielsen or
Glenn Close. Glenn Close, there it is.
But not good. I'm not a fan of Glenn Close.
Remember when
Sharon Stone, Sharon Stone, everybody's like, you gotta see this movie. She's sitting in her chair, when she crosses her legs.
See her beaver.
You can see her.
It's not even really...
For a second, you see a beaver.
I can remember somebody telling me, they're like, when she moves her legs across, her legs are open, you can see her pussy line.
Yeah, it wasn't...
It was a merkin.
I mean, I guess it was
a merkin.
A lot for the time,
The pussy line.
Remember when what's her name? The tall chick. You just said her name.
Bridget Nielsen.
Bridget Nielsen.
Flavor Flav. Yeah.
That was a great reality show.
Yeah,
man.
they got married.
That was so good.
Didn't they, or something?
Very bizarre, right?
So good.
Very bizarre.
Yeah.
Does that I feel like reality shows they don't matter anymore, right? Because the internet
they're not that grandiose anymore. That was
the internet is
that's where you know.
Well, there's like ones that peak like on the net. I was going to say on the Netflix. Who am I fucking Tom Van?
Getting old.
I say the
where they're hot for like a week. And then they burn out.
Yeah. But it's not like where reality shows make
Obsessed
news
with it,
or like
yeah.
Bridget Nielsen, Flavor Flav. Look at that. No one cares. It's like too much. Yeah.
You know,
that was like the same time Rock of Love came out. I loved Rock of Love.
Of course.
Oh, that was a good show.
That was
Rock
good.
of Love.
You look like you love
Bus.
Yeah.
Frenchie was on there.
Frenchie.
And that was the time where I was on the Season Ultimate Fighter. And after we all partied in Vegas, and guess who was at the strip club working? Frenchie, and I made really good friends with Frenchie.
What does that mean? You know what that means. Definitely need.
You
ate Frenchie's ass, didn't you?
No, I was married at the time. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Okay. I like when they go out to the back to find out what Bret Michaels is doing because and he's out there
punching a punching bag,
razzle jeans, pointy boots,
do-rag,
and like dressed as if he's playing a concert with like undershirt, jewelry, some vest, and like a rock star jacket, full headband.
Always do-rag headband.
And he's lightly punching a heavy bag behind the house, and they're like, "Oh, we caught him working out." He's got pointy boots on.
Excuse us, Brett. We know that you're getting ready to box someone wearing neon pink razzle boots.
Yeah, bracelets on.
Jeez, he's just covered in denim. And what's
I dressed like him for like a year after that. 2 years. Not gonna lie. I had my pointy cowboy boots for like 2 years.
I know you did.
So you got so into Rock of Love that you dressed like Bret Michaels?
Not Rock
I would
of Love,
never
but the
tell
style,
anybody that.
Because I was on the Ultimate Fighter, so I kind of got caught up in like the rocks, like star athlete, rock star type mentality. So I was like,
affliction shirts, razzle dazzle jeans.
Yes. I was
Ed Hardy.
Where's my rock star energy drink?
Yeah, kind of. I thought it
you have any
matched the part.
positive news, Seth?
Yeah. What's next here?
This one's kind of funny.
Oh God, someone died.
No, unless they drank it. Distillery recalls gin bottles mistakenly filled with hand sanitizer.
That is rough.
So how the fuck does that happen? A distillery in Australia said a recall successfully recovered all gin bottles that were mistakenly sold as liquor when they were actually filled with hand sanitizer.
You can say sanitizer. My daughter has not.
Sanitizer.
She has not
She's
copied.
trademarked it.
No, not yet.
No,
not yet. We're in the beginning stages.
Okay.
Sanitizer just makes more sense.
It does.
It just sounds good.
They said they were actually filled with hand sanitizer containing glycerol and hydrogen peroxide. A spokesperson said the bottles were identifiable by a lack of a seal or shrink wrapping.
Of juniper smell.
Consumption of the product may have side effects including nausea, headaches, dizziness, bloating, vomiting, thirst, and diarrhea.
Yeah, but that's alcohol. Like when
that's exactly.
Like everything you described is called Saturday morning.
If you drink this gin, it'll make you dizzy. You won't be able to walk.
It'll
your
make
hand-eye coordination.
You'll go through your wife's cell phone. mad.
I looked punch some holes in the
kick
wall.
the cat.
You're like, okay, all right.
And
it doesn't say how this
been
happened,
known
though.
to eat a Totino's in the middle of the night. Totino's is fucking good.
I never liked Totino's.
When I ate those, the bagel bite. The Totino's were bagel bites too.
No!
Oh no, the ones that are covered the whole thing. Yeah,
Well, Totino's does make
it's a
bagel
poofy
bites.
pizza.
Yeah, poofy pizza. Yeah,
It's a poofy pizza. It's like there's like a crust on the top. A layer of air.
Seth, you're obviously not one of us, Seth.
I'm not up to date on the NARP food. When I was a NARP back in the day, I did eat those.
What is Tracy's favorite NARP food?
I don't know. I don't let her eat it anymore.
Oh my God.
She's young. She can eat whatever she wants.
Bullshit.
She's like my daughter.
This is where you set people up for how they're going to look later in life.
Oh my God.
Now you take your ramen over 20.
You're stunting her fun, man.
Dude, just as I'm eating Snickers in the corner, Tracy's sneaking somewhere neat.
You gotta let her go crazy. First, you don't support her art.
I let her go crazy. No, what? No, don't say that.
I'm kidding.
I let her go crazy once a week on Sunday.
What does that mean?
She cheats. She cheats.
You can have one slice of Kraft cheese.
On you.
Probably. No, she has a cheat meal.
I'll wrap your
vitamin. Well, what's her cheat meal? That's what we're asking. I did too. Sorry.
I said you could have one piece of Kraft cheese, and Tom said I'll wrap your vitamin in it. That's fucking.
Here's
Wait, hold on. We're hearing what her cheat meal is.
Every week she's really excited about the cheat meal thing because she's not used to to not having regular food.
Garbage human being as well, Seth.
So she's like,
let her live her life, man.
So she's like, "What do you want to have this Sunday? What do you want to have?" Let's do. I'm like, I'm like, I haven't thought about this. I'm like, you tell me what you think you want. We'll plan it.
You tell me what you think you want.
I'm so starving. I've been eating my paints.
So last week we made this amazing freaking mac and cheese with like all sorts of different different cheeses and
different
stuff
macs in there.
Different macs. And this past week we made more cheese. We made grilled cheese, but it was like the Disney version grilled cheese. I put it on my Instagram. It's amazing. Like the best grilled cheese I've ever had in my life.
All right, I'm in.
Thick ass big grilled cheese sandwiches with like slathered with like
Tomato?
No, it was like a mixture of like garlic mayo, extra garlic chunks on the top, and like 4 or 5 different layers of cheese, cream cheese in the center, and fried. Oh,
that sounds phenomenal.
It was good. It was really good.
I do like how I do imagine that Seth doesn't understand what mac is, and he's like, "This mac is tiny little cylinders, white. That's rice. That's rice. This mac is long.
That's a loaf of bread, you idiot. That's a French baguette. It's the biggest rice grain I've ever seen."
Going back to them filling the gin
baguette. I don't eat rice. It's a piece of bread.
The gin bottles full of hand sanitizer. Like I like to imagine that when someone realized it, because for a fact, like since it already went out to distribution, something like someone.
It's the Carl Lewis drop. It's the. It's definitely.
I would have known something's up with the no seal on it. I mean, there's opens
because there had to have been the one person that's in like the production, the warehouse that they're like filling the bottles and shit, and then they're just like. Oh shit! Because
your fucking heart stops.
Yeah, because there was that they go like, oh fuck, it's going down the wrong. They've been filling it,
and then you just don't say anything, right?
It's like with my daughter.
No one will notice.
You start doing the math. You're like, shit. Am I going to go to jail?
Right, poison.
You could.
Yeah.
You start surveying the damage. It's like when it's like the feeling that I get when my daughter asks for water and I put a cup underneath my RO system.
Oh yeah.
But for whatever reason, I've done this like maybe 50 times, which is insane. It makes me an idiot. But I turn it on and then I'm like, I got time to pee, and I go to pee, and then while I'm washing my hands, I hear water hitting the floor, and I'm like, what is that? And I look at it, I'm like, oh my god! And I run out there and it's just spilling everywhere.
Dude, I do it with my grill all the time, where I'll put something on the grill and then I'll tell myself, which is stupid because
no, I set timers now for everything.
Yeah,
I know. I time everything.
Yeah, use my phone in my pocket just to remind me. Nope, I'll be like, I'm gonna put this chicken on there, close the thing. I'm like, I have to come back in 10 minutes or this.
You don't set a time. You gotta set a time.
No, because it's not learning my lesson.
Ultra confidence, right? Yeah. Like I'll remember. No, you won't. You don't remember anything.
This has happened dozens of times where I forget, and then I go back inside. I'm playing with the kid.
No bullshit. I've been at no bullshit. I've been at his current house that you've had, like, what, 10 years? Yeah. I've been there, and you've burned chicken at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, that's a lot. That's a high concentration of burning.
And it's the feeling of, oh, shit, it's definitely fucked up. But then there's a slight optimism as you run towards the grill thinking, maybe it's not burning, but why wouldn't it be?
Right.
It's been in there for half an hour.
Now, you can't double down and do the move my dad does where, this is probably one of the most embarrassed my dad's ever been, is he puts the chicken breast on the grill, right? Shuts the lid, times it, goes back out, opens the lid, never lit the grill. And your chicken breasts have just been soaking in propane.
You're supposed to light it before you even stick them on. You're supposed to heat the grill up before.
I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
I'm with your dad.
I don't know how he did it either. I'd love to explain it. Too much of a hero in my eyes. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah. One day, my sons, I hope they don't go back and listen to this. They'll be like, oh, God.
Some things you just don't dig into because you don't want to know the level of it.
He's not a hero. And he's worse than even being not a hero. He's worse than regular.
You got one more, or is that it?
I do, but I don't want to read it.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
It's a bummer.
All bummers.
It's worse than the.
He goes, yeah, I got one. I want to read it. Tom goes, no.
I don't even want to think of what
it's not even that bad. It's just not that interesting, man. Plus, 1, I gotta pee. 2,
I know.
2, it's about the village. Some guy's making a documentary on the people that live in the villages. Go Google it and have.
All right, yeah.
It's just kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm into
my father-in-law lives there now.
What? Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to get the loofah code down.
No, they got it online.
Oh yeah, there's a whole system.
I don't believe what I read online.
No. And if you Google it, you'll see it. Like you drive around there, you'll see it. It's a real thing.
My dream.
But they're doing a big documentary on it.
If I could live in a place where I could drive around a golf cart everywhere and higher than Chong, that's my dream.
Okay.
I'm literally almost about to buy
I know you're a fan of the hot takes.
Stoney's with me.
And earlier.
Right to death.
I'm with you. Earlier in my life, I was not a Jimmy Buffett man, and I made fun of Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, he's in Epstein's black book.
But if you ask me right now, old Jimmy Egg,
old fit up his butt,
old Jimmy Egg penis. If you were to ask me, do you want to live in Margaritaville, be high as chalk, and drive around a golf cart all day long? I'd be like, yes, I do.
Switched into old man.
I have. There is a
who doesn't want? Who wouldn't want to?
I mean, it's got his own.
I thought you were going to yell, "Who let the dog out?"
Who did say he's got it.
Oh, come on.
He's got his own water park for fat old people. It has its own water park for fat old people.
Don't let the eggs out.
Who doesn't want that?
I know. And he's driving a golf cart.
I'm just driving around my golf cart. I got a loofah on the top that lets people know how I want to have sex. I'm nude with my egg out.
By the way, if you don't enjoy driving a golf cart, stop listening to the show because you are a crazy person.
It's the only reason I do this.
When other people are like, "Hey man, if you are okay with him taking the Confederate flag out of NASCAR, unfriend me now." Tom goes, his hard stance is, if you don't like driving a golf cart, unfriend me now.
Stop listening to the show.
I like that. Yeah. And I support it because my mom has a golf cart, jacked up, super.
That's awesome.
What do you call them? The mustard golf carts. And my mom every afternoon will get on the golf cart with her either water or wine and her dog Maggie, and she will drive through the back field of her house because they love it.
Knows.
And it's fucking awesome.
It's literally the only reson I do the foot golf tournament.
I know.
Literally the only reason.
It's why most people play golf.
Charity's
golf
great,
is not that fun. It sucks.
Agreed.
Yeah,
but you get to drive around a golf cart.
Golf carts are fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. We are long. We'll come back, do a short dump them out, and
we'll be all right.
Dump them out.
More local hip hop. This is E-Turn. The name of the song is Not Me.
Started off like this. Let's do it.
Maybe Tom will freestyle. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time right after this. 1-844-TOMNGAN or show@tomandan.com for emails.
Sport Subaru, Sport Mitsubishi, right there on West Colonial Drive.
I'm 44. I want a Corvette. I want one bad.
Talk to J.C. Harrelson, Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont.
My neighbor's got a Stingray, and it's awesome, dude. It's so awesome.
Yeah. You're a perfect age for it.
I'm ready.
You need that.
I'm also the perfect size because nothing looks better than a tiny guy getting in a massive muscle car. I love it.
You go for the mid-engine.
The big dog. I'm sure Andrew will love that.
But imagine how funny it is.
Now, you know who would love that? Because she does like it when Daddy drives fast with the sunroof. Old Maisie.
Oh, yeah.
May would love it.
Yeah. Put her in the front seat. I don't think it even has back seat.
Lay on the floorboard. When we get out on the open road, you can stand out through the sunroof. Yeah. Just if the cops come by, you just I'll put a blanket on you.
My WRX lease is up. I had a Subaru Forester.
Yeah, what are you getting now?
My Crystal's looking for either an Ascent, maybe a Chevy Traverse. We're kind of keeping our eyes open. They got great deals. My God, I know like 4th of July is coming up.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're going new on the Subaru and Mitsubishi side, there's tons of incentives. Tons of deals going on right now.
They want to sell cars.
Yeah. If you want quality pre-owned, they got all of that there, too. Your wife actually had a Traverse that she purchased from there. If you want that Chevy truck, if you want that Silverado.
I got a Silverado from Don Mealy Chevy.
Your Silverado's pretty damn awesome. Or if you really do want that Corvette, if you want to get in line for one of those mid-engine beasts, you can do all of that. You just go see JC or maybe Mike Stacks on the Subaru side.
Yeah.
And get yourself an awesome car.
And if you go to tomandan.com, there's 2 forms right there. One for Chevy, one for Subaru Mitsubishi. Fill out those forms. Mike or JC will contact you.
We try to make it easy for you guys. I mean, like Tom said, they want to sell cars because things have been weird.
Yeah. 100%. And they got the deals right now. So if you've been looking to purchase something, definitely. And also, if you do purchase something, we're putting you on the list. We will eventually get people back in here to watch the show. But for right now,
we're just compiling a list that we'll never be able to, accomplish. The list
at
this
be
point,
overwhelming.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. No, we'll get you in here.
Yeah. and they let us know, and you can let us know. Take a picture and put it on social media. Let on the BDM page.
But they still do all of the test drives. Like if you want them to come to you.
Oh, they do at-home test drives. Yeah. They'll drop the car off 24-hour at-home test drive if you don't want to go into a dealership, deal with people.
I get it, man. Yeah, I mean it's a weird time.
They'll cater to you.
Yeah, it's a weird time to be doing these sort of things. But yeah, like Tom said, not only will they cater to you, but you're going to get that a mediocre time and BDM difference. You're going to get that.
Yeah, if they know you're a listener, they're going to be like, oh shit, we got to treat you right.
You get that elevated level of experience. So it's our good friends at Sport Subaru, Sport Mitsubishi, and Don Mealy Chevrolet. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm
Samantha,
Tom.
our producer's here. Butler's here. Chris Fisher stopped by. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Good to see you. Seth Petrozelli on news, and Butler is pooping? Pooping or paying?
Or he's sneaking more candy.
Let's do some Dump 'em Out. If you know what, if you don't know what this is, it's where we take basically anything that we listed throughout the week. We compile all the garbage, and at the end of the show on Fridays, we like to just kind of hot take everything, just rapid fire.
And I'll say this Dump 'em Out is brought to you by Burn Pest Control.
That moonshine did stumble us more than normal. That is an aggressive drink.
But Burn Pest Control is a new sponsor of ours. Actually,
welcome to the fold.
Yeah, used Burn the other day when I thought I had those termites. He came by, treated everything.
Kabam!
And now they're my pest control go-to, and they're treating all our houses. So if you need some pest control, Burn Pest Control, good family-owned business.
BYRNE.
Yes, BYRNE.
Proud sponsor, I believe, of Semantics.
Yeah. All right, let's go through these.
All right, where do you want to start? We did my birthday.
New favorite QVC pitchman.
I sent this to myself. There's this new guy on QVC, and I have to get the video to show you guys. This guy is fucking amazing.
QVC still around? Like that's
yeah. Well, this isn't QVC. I got to clarify. This is not QVC. This is another channel that's quite popular, and it's like a jewelry TV channel. And because COVID has happened, and with everything rolling out, there have been, and I'll go ahead and engage this so everybody else can see it. But this is a new channel that I believe is based out of Texas called Shop LC.
Okay.
All right.
So if you've listened to this show for any amount of time, you know I love home shopping. I love QVC. I love Jewelry TV, or JTV.
What does the LC stand for?
I looked it up, and now I'm blanking on looking it up. I was really high when I looked it up, but Shop LC, I can't remember. But they're jewelry-based. A lot of these newer QVC...
Liquidation channel.
There it is. A lot of these newer channels that are coming around don't follow the textile model that like a QVC or a HSL or what's it called? HSN? Home Shopping Network.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They don't follow. I see that one I don't really watch as much. I'm a QVC guy, you know, like I enjoy it.
You're loyal.
I love the Q card, you know, like that's your credit card. They call it the Q card. So clever. So clever.
Okay.
This is blowing my mind.
And,
I had no idea about any of this stuff.
And there's this new guy.
It's useless information.
What the hell?
His anxiety's so high, he likes watching mindless shopping channel stuff.
Yeah, it's great. So there's
no drama.
There's this new guy named Sean that popped up on this channel. Now, this isn't the exact clip that Andrea and I were watching, but it's very similar to the type of hijinks that Sean pulls when he's up here throwing around some jewelry. So, without further ado, I'm going to give you, this is Sean from Shop LC, my new favorite show.
Known fact that in her college days, my grandmother wrote a paper about the Byzantine era. Just a little fun fact. So
wow.
Makes me think of her. Excuse me, a little choked up. Makes me think of her when I see this bracelet, because it is something that she knew a lot about that era. Reminds me, funny story, reminds me, summer of 1982, she was taking care of me, and we had just finished watching Different Strokes and was waiting for the Facts of Life to come on. Millions of people did back in that era. And Yes, that's the one. Yes, that's the exact one. And a commercial came on for Barlow's Foods, and they had a sale on cling peaches, cans of cling peaches, 20 cents a can. She loved cling peaches. I think you should go there and pick up a can of cling peaches. So she said, you know what? Let's do that. So we got in the car, drove to the store, walked in. Second she steps in the store, very second she's inside the door, she says, "Bargain alert!"
Oh my God.
I was not expecting that.
That motherfucker got me.
He got him. He got everybody.
What is happening?
He took you one way.
This guy's insane. Right?
He's a crazy person. This is why I watch fucking QVC.
Why did he scream bargain alert?
He went on a tandem to sidetrack you.
He pulled you in. You thought he was going to tell you this crazy story about his grandma. Nope. All of it was a lie.
Bargain alert.
What? They do that when there's a bargain alert?
Look, Seth.
This is stupid.
Okay, hold on. Sometimes
no, stupid.
Beat up the TV.
No.
just hold on a second.
Fed you on the head right now.
Let me try to explain. He's so mad now. Let me try to explain this.
Go punch the bargain, Seth.
So when you watch these shows, when I sit down to watch these shows, a lot of times what they want to do is they want to sit there and they want to draw you in and they want to outline the product that they're doing, and they'll have something out there. Bargain alert! Bargain alert! See, I did it to you. I did it to you.
Why does it say 1 equals 1?
I did.
Except for dummies.
One dummy equals one dummy.
Isn't that great?
No, everyone that watches this should go to hell.
That's why I watch QVC, because the people they're insane.
So
and did that lady throw it on purpose?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. She knew. She knew.
She thought he didn't know he was crazy too.
She knew he was going to do the old bargain alert.
I'm pulling a bargain alert at the bar tonight.
Okay,
I know what that means.
Hold on. Let's examine who is watching this. Like, what's the audience?
Exactly.
Okay, Daniel.
It's Meemaws, 100%.
The people in the villages.
You know what? You reeled me in. I'm into now.
You're in?
I'm in. I'm cute.
You say Meemaws. My Meemaw watches the news.
Permission to plead my case. Permission to plead my case. When you're higher than Chong, that's good watching. I cry laugh when this
cringe.
guy. Andrea and I were watching it, and the guy's like, he was doing something, and he's like, and normally these type of diamonds take years, and I mean years, for them to get to a point. and then Andrea's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, bah! And then I'm really high, and I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever watched. I mean,
does that get people
we
to
laughed
buy?
and we laughed. Well, no.
Does it get Meemaws to buy? Like,
Yes.
they're already
It's a bargain, bro.
I know plenty of Meemaws that watch this shit.
But the price
and buy shit.
price
They call in. They don't even go on the website.
What?
Fucking
Why?
show them Amazon.com and buy some shit.
I've never seen Tom and Seth agree and be more mad at the same thing.
I don't understand.
Now, you guys, you watch all this. You're watching. What do you watch? Oh, some documentary about a windsurfer with one arm. Or this you're watching all this garbage. I'm watching good improv television.
That's literally wasting my life. Like, I literally feel depressed and have an existential crisis watching.
No, this is NARP. This is NARP brain junk food. That's all it is.
I agree with you.
Now,
it's all it is.
Okay.
Calorie free too, bro.
Yeah.
All right, what's interesting about this is there's a lot of similarities that we've gone over between Seth and Daniel and their mindset and their anxiety levels and their hypochondria and stuff. But
I got a blood test this week, by the way.
She says, bargain alert!
Yep, I did.
So, about what'd you think you had?
Well, remember the itchiness I talked to you about a couple weeks ago?
What did you got?
I Googled, of course, and of course there's like liver problems, kidney problems, beginning stages to lymphoma. And I was like, fuck, yep, dead. So I went to the doctor. I said, he's like, I don't think it's that. I'm like, well, when's the last time I had a blood test? He's like, it's been 2 years.
Wait, your doctor I don't think it's that.
He's like, I don't believe it's that. He's like, I think you're using something else you're not used to.
Give him the janitor.
So I'm like, well, so I had to beg him to get
wasting the doctor's time.
I had to beg him to get a blood
I don't
test.
know why you're itching, man.
So I and then he's like, oh, you'll have your results in 4 or 5 days. 4 or 5 days go by. I was like,
well, that's a good sign. No, that's a good sign.
And I thought that. I was like, no news is good news. I was like, okay, good. But then
With Gary Ganu.
Yeah, but then I started thinking, and I'm like, I called like 6-7 days. I'm like, hey, where's my blood test? It's like, oh, he hasn't reviewed it yet. He has it on his desk. I'll call you in like 30 minutes. So they call me in 30 minutes. As soon as I see it that it's them, I'm fucking sweating, nervous as shit. Like I'm about to get the call, like I'm dying for no reason, I guess. But she says, oh, everything's good. Everything's fine. He said, everything's normal. I'm like, okay, well, it'll be on my doctor app. I have a doctor application.
I do too.
A Helo app.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, okay. So I'm like, well,
what is that?
It's called a Helo app. So all your doctor records, medical records go to this app on your phone.
Nah, that's the future.
Yeah.
Well, it's like this.
Walked in. Second she steps in the store. Very second she's inside the door. She says, "Bargain alert!"
It's just like that.
So you wanted to get the results.
I want to see them for myself because I don't trust that. Yeah, they're fine. Sure, they're fine. Yeah, and then of course,
the professional. Yeah,
what does he know?
But does the dum that reads sad news? Has he looked at it?
Yeah, and I looked at it, and I don't even want to say what's high because everyone on the chat's going to be, they're going to look at it up and say I'm dying. So I don't want to say that. My creatine levels were a little high.
Because you're taking creatine,
but I'm not.
Yeah, you've been trying to thump your egg penis a little more, juice it up.
Damn it.
Trying to make it thick. I need a bigger egg. We're gonna need a bigger egg.
Hold on. Your creatine levels right.
My
Who gets tested for creatine?
Well, it's part of the normal blood test.
No, your creativity levels were low.
That makes more sense.
The creatine I thought was done in '98.
No, I know what they said. Your preteen levels were high in your closet.
Results.
Zenadrin.
Yeah, so it said the creatine levels were high. Yeah, you guys got your thing sucks in here. Wi-Fi. And also,
your reading
my bun levels were high.
Oh, that's bad.
Buns?
And that's what I said. I was like, well, what were they?
Oh, you better pick out a coffin if you got high bun level.
My bun level was 26. And normal
26 buns?
What kind of buns?
Normal range of buns is 6 to 24.
Sesame seed. Don't say sesame seed.
So they said that.
What are we talking? What kind of buns? Hamburger? Bow?
Kidney buns, I guess.
High
Worse.
buns.
Tastes like shit.
So my liver and all the enzymes are good, except my bun creatine ratio was a little
high creatine buns.
So
you know what they say.
I started freaking out. I call him back. I'm like, you said, and I got the voicemail because they're closed after one of them. I'm like, you said everything was normal. I'm looking at the test.
I'll kill you.
In bright red, it says that they're not normal. So why wasn't I told this? And what does this mean? Blah, blah.
By the way, that's exactly what I did when my liver enzymes went up. Spike. I found it because it's still. You know why? You know why they didn't tell you?
Tell me.
Yeah.
The reason they didn't tell you is because even though it might have been elevated, it wasn't elevated to a level that would have ever made them ever think anything's wrong.
It was 2 points above the normal, which is like nothing. But
meanwhile, I have iron toxicity. I'm going to die.
Oh, I forgot I was talking to that. I'll have to talk to Stoney.
I got to wait till August to get
I turned to Samantha. I'm like, you're driving doctors crazy. She's like, yes. I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot her high iron.
I'm dying.
Freaking out.
I'm less of
Meanwhile,
a
I've been a doctor in 10 years other than my wife.
I didn't even know you could look at your blood test after.
I didn't even know I had blood inside of me.
I'm not even joking. The last time I got a blood test, I didn't even get the results. They had COVID happened, and then my doctor never
You've
called
got COVID?
No, I'm just saying I did a pre-blood test back in January or whatever for my annual physical or whatever, and never.
If it's bad, I don't want to know.
Never looked at it or never even checked the doctor. I think I went to the doctor to get my Adderall. We never even talked about it.
That usually means that it was fine.
Of course, that's what I assume. Yeah. I was like, well, if anything was wrong, they would tell me, or whatever. But the doctor must hate the fact that their patients can now look at their tests
because it makes them right. Because makes them double check their work.
Well, no, they used to do the same thing, but they would just send you a postcard in the mail.
What do you mean?
Well, like
that's before my time.
Watching QVC postcards in the mail.
No.
Old 44. They used to ride on a horse up there.
Man. You're really showing your age.
Gave me my blood.
Deliver the decree.
By the way, old 44 is Obama. By the way, no, seriously. Just so you guys know, they do the same thing now. The patient portal is the new thing, but. Traditionally, medical offices were supposed to either call you, and that was real weird because they didn't like to do that over the phone. Or
that's what my doctor did this time, and I found it weird.
Mine does that now.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I got
to
change doctors,
but they do a thing.
A postcard says you've got AIDS.
My lady, remember the lady?
Congratulations!
Remember the lady that we were both going to go? Like I went to the new lady, and then we were talking about the thing, and then she asked me, "Do you want me to send you a postcard, or you don't want us to call.
They didn't ask me nothing.
And I said, well, I'm a bit of a trouble patient, so I would like for you to call. But now I think I'm better with just send me the postcard.
Send me the postcards to the mailman. Knows exactly what my fucking problems are, too.
What they're supposed to do, I believe. I could be wrong, but I
drops it off like this.
I think they're supposed to call if something's wrong for you to come in and do follow-up.
That's the worst.
And if everything's okay, send the postcard and no call. I think that's interesting.
Get with 2020 and put that shit on Patient Portal so I don't have to wait for your call or wait for snail mail.
They do.
I don't got nothing from the doctor.
I got all my
They literally called me, and that was it.
The postcard says cancer on it. You turn around and you're like, oh, that one palm tree has Christmas lights. That makes me feel
better. Snowman made of sand.
All right, what else we got on this? Dump them out.
I don't know how I got to that topic. I'm sorry.
It's fun.
Tom's Tunic?
What do we want to talk about?
I watched Star Wars.
Which one?
Which one?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
A New Hope.
What, you've never seen it before?
Yeah.
No, this guy doesn't watch movies.
No, I don't watch movies. And all of you guys have been telling me, like it's on Disney Plus, it's free, go watch it. So Andrea and I...
Wait, A New Hope or Episode 1?
New Hope.
Okay.
Yeah, Episode 3,
that's better.
right? 4. Episode 4. Because apparently...
you had never seen it before?
George Lucas is a fucking idiot. Doesn't know how to put his movies go in order, you big fat turd. You fucking fat nerd. You're an idiot.
Indiana Jones out of order, too, by the way.
Hey, guess what? He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the way it goes. It doesn't go 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. You're an idiot. So I watched the first Star Wars, the one where they get caught in what I assume is a trash compactor.
Yep.
And there's like turds and octopus in there. By the way, anybody that likes that movie, you're a fucking idiot. It's slow, it's boring, it's a hunk of shit. Even being remastered, hunk of shit. Yeah. The acting is shitty, the characters are shitty, everything about it fucking sucks.
You're about to make a lot of
I'm just telling you what you already know. It's not good. It's just not a good movie. It's all nostalgia. Sorry. Yeah. It has to be. I looked at it with fresh eyes, and I'm creative, and I love creative shit. Not good.
Here's the problem.
I watched it about 3 years ago for the first time, and I was just like,
It's got,
it's not good. It's
when
not
did
good.
it come out?
I
77?
I started falling asleep during it, and I had to power through.
You got to remember, it's 70. Yeah, it's
slow.
It's got
things are slow.
1977 pacing.
Those sweet transitions.
You're watching with 2020 ADD eyes. We need shit fast paced now. Like in the 70s, there was nothing. They're like, you could watch a slow movie. You're like, let's wait to see how this
plays out.
We got time. What else are we doing? Nothing else.
We're like, I gotta look at my phone. This, that, movies nowadays have.
By the way, you're speaking to a man who has multiple Star Wars tattoos on his body.
Star Wars. Look, like what you like. I'm covered in tattoos. I've got elephants on. I've got my daughter on my body and myself on my body. But I'm just saying.
Wait, who has tattoos?
It's not
Butler.
Good. It's not good.
Sorry.
Oh shit, Butler's probably like really bad.
I feel
he don't care.
I've already given up Decker in the back.
I know people are going to be pissed, but I'll end that part by saying this. If I'd watched it as a kid, I'd probably be just as attached as you are. But watching it at the age of 43,
as a kid who had all the toys and stuff like that, when I was younger, it really kind of that's what helped evolve into my love of Star Wars.
And
obviously, if I were to start watching it now, I would fucking hate it. I hate Star Trek.
I love G.I. Joe, and watching those cartoons as a kid.
Oh my god, the power!
Yeah, we're probably fine. We're off of. We're going to be off of Twitch, but
probably still recording.
Yeah, but we're probably still recording.
Awesome power! Is there a storm outside?
I'm looking right now. I'm all about the weather. Hang on.
I don't know. Oh, we're under attack. Oh, there's a soldier at the door. Come on in. Like, I don't know.
You know what? If they wouldn't have returned that baby, this wouldn't have been a problem.
I know, right?
What's that beeping?
Crack the blinds. Is there a tank driving by?
There's a tank.
It's beautiful and sunny outside. It's not the weather.
Order a pizza because it's my last birthday.
Do you want to do one more and one more topic?
Wait, if I could recommend a movie, if you don't watch movies, Tour de Pharmacy.
I'll get it, Tom.
Okay. What movie?
Tour de Pharmacy.
What is that?
Oh, it's the fucking one of the most funniest movies I've ever seen. Made in 2017. I don't know how it wasn't talked about. I don't know how it wasn't a bigger thing than it is. One of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life.
Was it a small indie movie?
Yeah, I said the ringing's over there.
It's underneath your desk.
Oh, it's me?
Yeah. It's your backup battery.
It's the rolling blackouts.
Oh, yeah.
Baldwin Park, it's rolling blackouts.
Well, we've got so many of them.
There we go.
Oh, there it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if anyone can hear us. But
yeah, we still.
No, they can.
Yeah, we'll still be recording.
Arguably, this one should still be running. The light's still on, so I think we're good. Hopefully.
All right, let's talk about Tom's tunic. He wore Crystal's shirt this week.
Yeah, that was a little weird, right?
Yeah. I saw a black shirt in my.
It was actually a black blouse.
It was.
Butler complimented you on it and thought it was like an expensive.
No. I walked out when we were walking behind. I was like, when did you get this expensive shirt? It looked like one of those BYL T-shirts, which are like $60 a T-shirt.
Yeah, the Built company. Yeah, those are. And you know what's funny is you said that, and then my phone must have picked it up walking to Publix because immediately that night I had ads for those Built shirts that they have a scalloped tail, and they have either a V or a scalloped.
It's for tucking in your shirt, so when you bend over, it doesn't untuck.
By the way, you reinforced the fact that it was a men's shirt, and I thought
he
it was
did, and to which I said, "No, that's a blouse."
Yeah. So I saw. I would.
Well, it didn't have shoulder pads. I didn't know any better.
I know a tunic when I see it.
It must have been a busy week for Crystal because
again,
no laundry
why can't
done.
you do the laundry?
I could do it, but
laundry sucks.
You boiled her feet for mixing the clothes up. So
all the household chores. That's the one I do the least. I hate it.
I just the women are better at it.
They are.
Well, their fingers are smaller, and they're
my wife makes all the money, so she makes me fold the laundry.
I know I can do it myself.
But anyway, I'm really good at folding laundry.
I saw the shirt. I was like, oh, look at it. And then for whatever reason, I was like, oh, it's one of my
you guys
regular...
just need to do what I do. And Andrea, I could use some help with the laundry. And I just look at her and I go, I'm not doing that.
I can't get away with
it. There is a thing called, you got your own mind, and you can tell people you don't want to do something.
Your fucking clothes.
It is.
Although I have used
and then she does this move. She goes, well, I'm just going to leave them here, and I'm not going to fold them, and you could just pull them out of here and put them on. And I go, that's fine.
I will do that.
And then she goes, okay, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. And then she says, I'm really doing it. And I'm like,
She's
told
treating you like a baby.
It's fine. And then she'll go, and then she'll do something else, and then she'll come back and she'll be like, God damn it, I have to do it. And I'm like, well, I win.
I've had the same conversation, except for I'm telling my wife that I'm actually trying to find something to watch on TV for us, and then she has to fold the laundry, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, will you help fold the laundry? I'm like, I can't. I'm helping find some TV shit to watch on the television. No, I can't do it.
Wait, your job is to find something to watch on the TV? That's not a job.
Dude, you got it easy, Butler.
Yeah.
That's my job every night. I
Besides
got something
the fact
to watch.
that you get shamed for eating candy.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Well, hell on. There's certain types of people that society's learned to give them jobs that are easier to do.
Tony Maloney.
Is that why you have Butler listed? He has Butler listed on his employee form on his desk. It says Walmart greeter.
Soon there'll be a bus to pick you up to go clean the food court.
Butler, return my shopping cart.
So
you have a very bourbon chicken look about you.
Butler brought in 2 gigantic bags of candy.
Oh yes.
But we still don't know why he had them.
He brought them in because he knew that Tom's kids were coming. So he sabotaged Tom, by the way, by bringing in these giant bags of candy. However, it's mostly for him because he's been snacking on it. Not only do we have the giant buckets now of candy, he also has a stash in his desk. So it's at close proximity. And apparently he stashed some in his backpack as well, and his wife caught him with the candy in the backpack, and she called him out on it.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of candy? Like a good high quality candy?
No. I'm going cheap shit. It's like Laffy Taffy and Nerds and Gobstoppers.
Gobstoppers, like the Wonka candies.
Snickers,
and then
Twix,
Snickers,
M&Ms.
Twix, peanut M&Ms, regular M&Ms.
And then Butler tells his wife, oh, yes, they have candy everywhere. They put it in my bag.
He's like, they have it at the city. He blamed on us.
Yeah, he was like, they know my weakness, yet they put it everywhere. Hostile work environment. Go fuck yourself. You brought the candy.
How do you believe that?
I've never had candy in here.
I try to be good. Just like you, Jen. You leave out peaches and apples. They leave out fucking Twix and candies. I can't help myself.
Last week, raise your hand if you drove to, I believe it was Whole Foods, and got their new line of gourmet gourmet potato chips.
I mean, I only bought all 3.
All 3
Yeah, he got
flavors.
Italian hoagie flavored chips.
Which I don't even think those are open.
No, they're not.
Hey, bust them open. It's a birthday.
We got the Cuban press, and then we also had the
pastrami.
Probably the worst things you could eat ever.
You get the fuck out of here.
Oh, fight.
Shitty-ass oil and potatoes. Like fat and carbs.
It's actually made with avocado oil.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Avocado is good. That is actually good.
Avocado.
Hey, you guys had one of these avocados?
I'm totally
Looks like an alien. It's green.
It's some shit canola.
Oh, yeah.
No, damn it, I knew it.
Oh, yeah.
It is a good. Now that I think, because I was like, how did she believe that? Because you living with the butler is like definitely yours, but
yeah, but he sneaks everything.
And also,
I don't lie.
The stereotype.
You literally just lied.
Well, my wife doesn't.
Now she knows.
Big fat
She don't
radio
listen to
guys.
this shit.
She probably did the math.
Yeah,
They're like, oh
yeah.
yeah, this is something they
She
do.
must think we're real pieces of shit, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Half the trick is not having the stuff in the house to snack on.
You know what?
Boom.
Yeah.
I think
but Butler sabotages all of us. I'm trying to be less of a narp here, Seth. And Butler is fucking sabotaging us.
Like whenever Tracy brings something that doesn't belong in the house, I don't even open it. I just crush the box and throw it away. Like, like, I don't even let it.
You're fucking.
Those are Meemaw's ashes.
What?
You're a fucking tyrant, Seth.
Those are my eggs. I wanted a baby.
She brought some like chicken strip chips home. They're like, these are good, right? They're chicken
strip chips.
They're like chicken skin chips. I'm like, oh yeah, these might be good. I looked, I read, I'm like, blah 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 blah. Potato powder. I crush them right in front of her.
Fucked up,
no,
dude.
You spent like fucking $5 on that, you asshole.
Yeah,
no, my $5 is
she gets an allowance.
You know what?
Again, she
eats what I pay for. No, I'm just joking. She helps out a lot. I'm just joking.
But she's still, I still pay for her.
That's as believable as Butler.
I'm just joking. She helps out a lot. That's believable. By the way, she's 22 years old. She can have potato powder. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Potato starch powder.
Metabolism is crazy high.
What? Potato powder? How dare you? This is at least 15 calories.
Also, listen to the language Seth uses when she brings things that don't belong in the house. Is she living there or not?
Yeah, but she knows she knew coming into the relationship, just like
That
those
you're a
parents
fucking
knew.
tyrant?
No, just like those parents knew they were coming into a mentally challenged kid. She knew what she was coming into.
You're mentally challenged?
And then she's going to have to return some food every once in a while.
You know what? When you put it that way, that makes a lot of sense.
I'm glad.
Look, she knew I was mentally challenged. And I'm like, you know what? I'll step aside. You are like the MMA version of that movie, The Other Sister. Google. Just everybody Google that.
MMA Other Sister.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
It's
get out of
time.
here.
It's time.
We gotta get the hell out of here.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. It doesn't really feel like a birthday because my daughter's birthday is Monday, so my birthday's kind of been devoured.
Happy birthday, Maisie.
But tonight, thank you. Tonight, I think May, and we even got a NARP nod of approval from Seth. I think tonight, May and I are going to do Taco Bell. We're just going to trash it up.
I did McDonald's for my birthday.
It's fun.
The only reason,
Quarter pounder with cheese.
My celebration, I think I've told you before, after Kimbo was the 20 tacos on my chest that night, like in my house.
You ate them all?
Oh yeah, 10 soft, 10 hard.
How many?
On my chest. Just,
I miss you doing the. I miss you doing the eating challenges though.
Yeah.
I know that you've really dialed in your diet. Now, he's probably healthier than he's ever
do it
been.
again for fun.
But like, remember when he would just send us pictures of the shit he was eating?
Yeah. Could you eat 100 nuggets if we got?
Oh, wait.
Chicken
100 nugget challenge again?
Bring it back.
10 years
later.
Fat guy. We
Yeah,
had a
10
fat guy.
years
high end
later.
good nuggets. Yeah, not McDonald's.
As long as
No,
I
it's
won't
gotta
die
be-
from food poisoning.
They
gotta be
were the
McDonald's.
McDonald's nuggets, and we had Fat John do
Yeah.
it, and
He swore
He
he
did not
could eat
accomplish it.
100 nuggets.
When I was 11 years old, I ate 40 nuggets on the reg. Like, that was my go. When my mom went to McDonald's, she's like, what do you want? I'm like, 2 20-piece nuggets, please.
Holy
And I'd
shit,
eat 40
man.
fucking nuggets. At 11, 12.
If we bought you 100
saying you
nuggets,
did
could you
200?
go through them?
100%. That's
That's
easy.
a lot of nuggets, man. You don't
No,
understand.
I don't think you
when
can.
I saw
I can eat, man.
Fat John said the same thing.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
think he can
he
do
said
it.
when he was so confident that I got a little scared because I think there was a bet on the line.
Yeah.
And then when I saw how much the amount of 100 nuggets was, I was like, no way.
Not
He got through 30, and then he almost died.
I think he
Eat
did
your body weight.
That's 5. That's just 5
He did
boxes.
35.
And I used to eat 2 of them. So, I mean, when I wasn't that hungry, I ate fries with it.
So no, wait a minute. He can do it because if John, John at his heavy, he was like a very large man that ate a lot, but he did
350 plus.
35 nugs. You said you did 40 on the reg.
When I was a kid. When I was in middle school.
Yeah,
but
when I was a body weight.
Yeah, but you're a different person now. Your body can't handle it.
No, you totally can.
I'm a different person.
I don't agree.
Well, let's do it. You want to do it next week?
I don't want to. Did you say he almost died? Like, I don't want to do that.
No.
Oh, he was obese.
Yeah, he was an obese fat man with diabetes.
He was also a baby that dressed up like a pirate on a houseboat.
Yeah, don't.
All right. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
good guy.
he was a good.
I
I'm
think he
not
lost
saying
some
he's
weight
not
there.
a good guy.
Don't
I'm just saying he was a bit of a sensitive chap.
Yeah.
And I know you're a sensitive chap too, but I know you can eat 100.
Yeah, I just hear these horror stories about people doing eating challenges now, and like the water challenge, somebody almost died. The cockroach challenge.
No, somebody did die with the water challenge.
The cockroach challenge.
I'll feed you some cockroaches.
It was a radio show, and they killed a person.
Taking some bets here because I got my money on that Seth can't do it.
I think he can do it.
I think he can.
I got 50 saying that Seth can eat 100.
So me and Butler say yes. You and Sam say no.
Yeah.
All
Fisher
we need.
says no.
Oh, do you need sauce or no?
Honey.
Honey.
Straight honey?
Oh, I thought you were calling me honey. I thought you were like honey.
All right. We'll get him.
I thought you were doing like Sassy
Sassy.
Black Grandma because
Honestly,
I was like,
I could change-
do you need sauce? And you're like, honey, do I need sauce? I always need sauce.
As long as there's a change up in foot, like I'll do like 20 or 40 honey, 20 to 40 honey, then I'll do like barbecue for 20. As long as
what
there's
do you
different
need?
flavors.
I'm gonna
Hold
get
on.
you what you need.
What is the time limit? A whole show?
Yeah, from the beginning
Okay.
to the end of the
Okay.
show.
Oh, that's.
I think that's too easy. No poop break.
Can you do it in an hour?
Can I race him for time?
Oh, this is Sam's favorite thing ever.
Or could Butler eat 100 mini Snicker bars?
No,
Snicker
too rich.
He will vomit.
I will get diabetes.
It's too rich.
It's a guaranteed diabetes. That's a lifelong fucking.
There's so much
He will
oil.
die.
There's so much oil in the nuggets too. Those.
You can pull the breading
What are you,
off if
pussying
you
out?
want to.
I never said I wasn't. I said I could. I didn't say I
would
wanted
like-
to.
You wanted a bro challenge.
Yeah. Not that someone's gonna
If
kill
you
me.
would like, you can take the breading.
Yeah, my butt. That's exactly what I'm thinking. It was my bun level.
If you want to, you take the breading off, and I will allow you to stuff that inside your vagina.
I'm gonna if we do this race, I'm gonna pull the lard ass off of Stand By Me and fucking chuck some eggs and.
I mean, this is the greatest birthday gift you guys can give me is a Butler Seth food challenge.
Yes. I am so looking forward to
This is going
this.
to end with projectile vomiting on the goddamn
I would do it anyway. Like, no matter what, I'll throw up afterwards to get. I don't want that in my body.
I threw up with a bullshit workout at his at the jungle. I will throw up. I will
throw up in a fish tank.
Wear a poncho.
Oh yeah, then maybe you can
Give
get
me a
some
trash
crabs.
can right here and I'll puke.
All right.
Yes.
The
I can't
jungle.
wait till next week.
All right, yes, the jungle.
In the
Good
jungle,
transition.
the mighty jungle.
Big Petrozelli.
We actually had like.
He's got AIDS.
Petrozelli. His blood levels are high. He's got AIDS.
Sign up for Jungle Fit classes.
Yeah,
5 o'clock in Lake Mary.
5 o'clock Lake Mary or downtown, 5 o'clock and 6 a.m. downtown as well. We actually have had in the past week. I think we've had like 2 BDM sign up.
Oh, really?
Wow.
And we always get, and we're first of all, we're doing discounts because it's the reopening. So we're trying to get, a bunch of people signed up and stuff. So we're doing discounts. And also on top of that, we always give you guys BDM discounts. So go to jungleorlando.com and send us an email or call us, whatever you want to do for that. And then, more traditional stuff, my karate. We started that back up a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
So I'm doing that, karateoforlando.com. If you guys want to do some traditional martial arts, I have that. And my diet will come out soon.
I think that's a mental thing, right? A lot of like focus and
I needed it back
concentration. Yeah, no, I'm actually being serious right now. Like that, the learning of like the kata, the true forms, the even something as simple as the amount of respect that you pay the dojo, right?
Yeah,
it all factors in.
Oh yeah, it's
reason I mentioned this. I got into a tempon chef, the teppanyaki grill. I did fried rice last night, and it's amazing. Like I did it, like it tastes as good as any Japanese restaurant.
Rice,
I know, really bad for you, but it was delicious. But I will say that traditionally those type of chefs have this level of honor that just even something as simple as the kitchen, it's like come in. bow. Move your utensils to here. That you have all your tools.
Everything is very precise. There's a meaning for everything. Yes, for sure. Which is that we do it in karate too, because that's why there's the whole class is pretty much. I teach it in Japanese, so you have to like learn the Japanese terminology, the stances, the strikes, and everything like that. The greetings, all that stuff.
So karateoforlando.com.
Yeah, karateoforlando.com.
There you go.
Don't forget, Father's Day is coming up. Get your Father's Day pack at tomanddan.com. Also, we have a leggings pre-order happening. We have leggings, capris, right? No, that's what it is.
Yeah, they're capris,
okay,
but they have pockets, right?
Yes, and then also compression shorts, and that's a pre-order, and it ends June 19th.
Yeah, so if you have an egg penis that you need to compress.
God damn it!
Is it the one that I wore for when I booked the towels, though? Those pants?
But shorter.
Yeah.
We have 4-inch and 7-inch.
Yeah, I got
shorts.
tiny ones.
Oh, I need bigger than 7.
I got 4.
You can get the capris.
Yeah, I'm like...
I got a baby deck.
All right.
Clip that.
Semantics.
Is that the ending?
So check out semanticspodcast.com. This week we have Pariah Mike and his wife Lisa from the Fort Airwalk podcast.com. And send us an email anytime you want. Show at semanticspodcast.com.
Yep. And check out Chris Fisher's podcast, BYOCB. You can get it anywhere where podcasts are found.
Indeed.
I think that's it.
Yeah, and my birthday wish, again, is for all of you to stop arguing with each other on the social medias. Give each other some love. So if you want to make me happy for my birthday, just don't be a shitbag. Be a good person. Be kind. Be loving. Listen more than you talk. Don't run your mouth. And if you disagree with somebody, you don't necessarily need to say shit about it. Shut your fucking mouth. Let me celebrate my birthday, please. Just shut the fuck up. That's what I would say. Anything else?
That's it.
Guys, we will see you on Monday.
Oh, wait a minute. I can't publish that. It's mediocre.
And now it's time for the Tom and Dan end of the show footnotes. Today you heard music from...
All of the music that you heard today was hand-selected from the Orlando's Own mixtape. We interviewed DJ Dizzlefunk earlier this week about the release of this mix, and guess what? It's out today, and it's 100% free. Now, all that I would ask is that if you're listening to this mixtape and you hear something you like, well, then be sure to maybe purchase a couple of extra songs from what you heard, and just support these guys because they're local, and it's really cool that Dizzlefunk is giving this out for free. It's actually really cool that these bands are doing that. You heard Universal Funk Orchestra with their song Humalian. Then you heard Amiam, I hope I'm getting the name right, with the track Lean on Me. Then E-Turn with the song Not Me. And we closed out the day with DJ Bits and Pieces and the track If It's a Really Real featuring Jawan LaRue. And on that note, it's time for my birthday. Have a great day. We'll see you Monday.
Sometimes I feel locked in a box.